Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And I took a little bit of a break on Wednesday. I wanted to do open mic, but I had to take a little bit of a break because I needed to, do some workouts with my daughter and the basketball team and a bunch of stuff. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but we got a little bit of Knicks news to talk about. Mitchell Robinson, he's got an injury, so he cannot continue to participate with the select team. Dennis Smith Jr. is working on his jump shot. We'll talk about that a little bit, what that means, if he can actually get that jump shot down. And Frank Ntilikina, he's played 2 games with the French national team. We'll talk about Frank and what his performance looks like over those 2 games. And anything else that you want to talk about, we'll talk about it tonight. We'll get into it a little bit. So let's get popping, man. And you see, every time I do that, I don't get the intro that I wanted to get. So I'm going to do it all over again. One more time. Let's get popping, man. Don't forget to get your opening night tickets. Reserve it now because that schedule comes out next week. And when that schedule comes out, them tickets are going to fly off the shelves, man. So make sure that you get with it. I got my man Guermo in the chat. And I'm expecting a couple more people to join in. Tony Crow's going to jump on in a little bit, I guess. He's going to come in and talk to us a little bit. I hope you guys are ready to have a good weekend. I know I am. Hopefully I can get some rest this weekend. That's my plan, to try to get a little bit of a rest. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, though, because even when I don't have something planned, it seems like I have something planned. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. That's just how it goes sometimes. But let me get over here to Guermo, see what Guermo's talking about, and talk a little bit about Mitchell Robinson. I don't know if you got a chance, Guermo, to see the video that I did on Mitchell Robinson, just what he's been doing in the Summer League. I did a little highlight. Again, make sure you get your opening night tickets. I didn't mean for that one to come up, but since it did, I might as well plug it. But Mitchell Robinson, and I got the wrong thing at the bottom. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take that one on off. But Mitchell Robinson played in a couple of scrimmages against Team USA. The select team, not just Mitchell Robinson. The select team played in a couple of scrimmages versus Team USA. And, of course, Mitchell Robinson was playing. I'm not sure if he started, anything like that. We only got to see clips. Clips came from various sources. Slam Online. They had some clips from the scrimmage. We also had Ballless Life had some clips from the scrimmage. Hoop Jab. They had some clips from the scrimmage. So I was able to put it together and, just take a look at Mitchell Robinson. Take a look at a couple of his highlights. And, he was okay. He was okay. That's all I'm going to say. He's okay. I mean, the things that he can do on the court, just make you say, wow, this guy really has a whole lot of talent. And if he can put it together, it could be something special. But there are things in the video that I seen that is the reason why, when we were having that discussion a few weeks ago, that I'm like, I don't know if you start him right away. And I don't know if I want to get into this whole argument or whatever, but we'll get into that. Let's talk about his injury first. Apparently, and I'm going to come to you in a second, Guermo. Again, make sure you make your deposits, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take this off, but make sure you make your deposits. Apparently, Mitchell Robinson has a knee injury. All right, and we're going to take a look at the New York Post, because this is where at least I got my report, and I'm sure there's been other places. But we're going to take a look at the New York Post and talk about his knee injury. It doesn't seem to be too serious. Thank goodness it's not too serious. All right, but let's bring it on over here. Mitchell Robinson, he's dealing with a knee injury at the Team USA camp. There is footage online of Team USA in Las Vegas scrimmaging with Knicks center Mitchell Robinson disrupting De'Aaron Fox as he's driving to the basket. And I know I'm not reading that word for word, but you get it. You can see it. However, Robinson mostly has been on the sidelines during this week as a member of the U.S. Select Team, which is a group of young NBA players fielded to scrimmage against Team USA's World Cup training camp roster. Jeff Van Gundy is coaching this Select Team. I like the fact that Jeff Van Gundy is coaching the Select Team. I like that fact for Mitchell Robinson, right? The kind of a coach that's going to push him, make him work, make him do some things. The kind of a coach that coached Patrick Ewing. You know what I'm saying? So you got to like that. You got to like that he's able to draw some and try to grab some knowledge from Coach Van Gundy. According to a Team USA source, Robinson suffered a knee injury and missed the first 2 days of practice, beginning with an informal workout Sunday. He returned for 2 days, but re-injured the knee on Wednesday. Robinson was expected to miss Thursday's set of scrimmages, that's yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, and practices. A member of the Knicks training staff is in Vegas with Mitchell Robinson. According to a source close to Robinson, he's been experiencing just soreness, and the team and his camp are being extra cautious after an MRI turned up clean. The scrimmages ended today, so we will not get any clips or highlights from Mitchell Robinson today, from today's scrimmages, because he wasn't playing. So Mitchell Robinson has a knee injury. He's held him out of the rest of the training camp. Hopefully it's nothing serious. You know, maybe he just bumped knees or whatever it is, and he's just got some soreness in it, and everything is precaution. Obviously, that's the hope. That's what I want it to be. Because the last thing that you want is for a player to get injured when he's not even playing for your team. That happened to my daughter. Right? My daughter goes to one of our local colleges. She goes to their workouts every Monday, every Wednesday. She goes to their, it's a local community college, the College of Southern Maryland. She goes to their workouts. She also goes to the workouts with Coppin State University. Not workouts, I'm sorry, open gyms. I want to make sure I get that clear, because we don't need any kind of NCAA violations up in here. All right. She goes to their open gyms and they play. So while she was at the College of Southern Maryland, she twisted her ankle. And she twisted her ankle right before we were going into one of our biggest tournaments. Matter of fact, the biggest tournament of the season. So she was out for a week and a half. She couldn't practice. When we would scrimmage, she couldn't scrimmage. She had to rest her ankle. She had to, ice it. All that stuff. She had to do all that stuff to make sure that she was ready to play. Then, of course, when she was ready to play, she couldn't be 100% because her ankle is still a little bit sore. As a matter of fact, it's still sore till today. Now, would I take it back and say, no, you can't play? No, I would not, because I wanted her to play. She needs to play against the best level of competition in order to get better. But you just hate the fact that she got hurt before, one of our biggest tournaments of the season. And here you go, Mitchell Robinson, has a knee injury. And you know how the Knicks do sometimes. The Knicks don't always tell you the truth when it comes to injuries. Sometimes they say, oh, yeah, it's just a little tiny bruise, or it's just a little paper cut, and it turns out they got 22 stitches or something. You know what I mean? That's how the Knicks do, everyone. That's how they do it sometimes. Hopefully this is it's nothing. Hopefully it's nothing. I got Tony Crow. We got Tony Crow up in here. We got Guermo up in here. Guermo, what's good, bro?
What's good, man? Real interesting on Mitchell Robinson. Real interesting on Van Gundy coaching that team. It's here's what I say. I think it's a good thing that it was a contact injury, because I think he bumped the knee. Yeah. You never want off contact injury, because then that means that tendon, something's rupturing, blah blah blah. Even though obviously a contact injury could be as bad, but when it's a contact injury, they want to be safe. You said the MRIs came back negative, so I'm optimistic on that. It just sucks because I think this would have been perfect for the guys they look as like the C level, D level all stars or superstars or whatever. If Mitchell Robinson would have made a name for himself in this team, that would have been pretty cool. But it is what it is. Take precaution with this little injury or knick-knack, getting ready for the season. But I will say for Mitch, he has to get a better base. I'm not saying he has to become like Shaq and gain 200 pounds, but he definitely has to gain a better base because his legs and knees are just so, fragile. I don't know if he could talk to Tyson Chandler, get some tips from him, because I remember Tyson Chandler coming out of high school. Not to say he's a little bit strong, but he was also a little frail, maybe not as frail as Mitch, but do the right exercises, whatever it is, the right regimens to kind of get your base a little bit stronger. But other than that, I feel good on him. I watched the highlights on Frank Ntilikina, but I'll let you guys get to that. Let me not overtalk. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you getting ready to go into Frank Ntilikina and all that. See that?
Yeah, I didn't. My bad. I didn't mean to keep going, but
sometimes Guillermo does that.
All right, you see how Sim does? When Sim doesn't have Isaiah here, he picks on me. And I'm supposed to be his man. You see that, Tony Crow? You see your man, Sim?
All I'm saying
grimy,
is, sometimes you do that.
All right. I'm helping you out. You're not supposed to point it out. If I've conceded, this is all right. Let's go to Tony Crows. You don't have to point it out, Sim.
Man. All right, cool. All right, my bad. See, and sometimes he'll let you know that you don't have to do something that you already did to him. You know what I mean? Tony, what's good, man? What's poppin', bro?
What's going on?
I'm good.
Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black, it's time.
It's
I've been out the loop. I've been working overtime, so I didn't even hear about Mitchell Robinson injury until right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, a little bit of a knee injury. I don't think it's too much or anything too serious that we have to worry about, but a little bit of a knee injury.
Yeah, it didn't sound like they were pulling him out completely, so I mean that's a good sign.
Yeah.
I definitely did see his highlights. I seen your video. I seen him. I seen what you posted, but I seen him on my own as well.
Right.
I mean, he what he does well. What he does, he's elite at.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping, blocking shots, catching lobs. It's just about development. The great thing about him is he can survive off of what he does great right now. Everything else he does down the line is a bonus.
Yeah. And the things that I'm going to show the video in just a minute, and you all can I'm actually going to go ahead and put the video in the chat. You guys can check it out as I put it in the chat. The thing with Mitchell Robinson, really, to me, it's not all about, obviously, he just has to learn. He just has to play. You know what I mean? That's like the biggest thing. He just has to play. And, when I show this video, you're going to see him leave his feet a little bit early. Right? On a couple of occasions against Kyle Kuzma. Right? Because he's a shot blocker. He wants to block shots. Right? And you're going to see where, he lacks some power. You know what I mean? And now this is against Kyle Kuzma, right? Yeah. How old is Kyle Kuzma? How long has Kyle Kuzma been in the league?
I think the same year as Alonzo, right? And Frank. So what? This is fourth year or third year?
Okay. And so obviously he's going to be a little bit stronger, right? He's going to be a little bit stronger than Mitchell Robinson, but I don't know if should he be that much stronger than Mitchell Robinson. He's still a young guy, but the strength there, Mitchell Robinson's lack of strength, you could see it. I mean, you're gonna see in the video where Kyle Kuzma just he bumps him, and Mitchell Robinson tumbles down like a boxer got hit in the jaw. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. I might be exaggerating a little bit there, but You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But that's where, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just the fact that, he's got to get stronger, and it's going to take some time for him to get stronger. And it's not even just getting stronger. I think he also has to, I don't know if he's fully grown into his body yet.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think he's still, and he's still developing, but he's so long and so lanky. I don't know if he's developed into his body. I think he's gonna end up filling out in like an AD capacity. Yeah. Hopefully so.
I don't think he's gonna get too big. I think he'll just fill out, because his frame, his framework is kind of ideal. You know what I mean? His framework is better than KP's. Put it like that.
Okay.
And KP had the same type of issues. His rookie year.
I agree with you. I think his framework is better than KP's. Definitely better than KP's. It's just going to take some time. He's just got to grow into his body, and there's not going to be anything we can do about it until he grows into it. But you can see his shoulder structure, you know what I mean? Where that's going to fill out a little bit more as he gets older. And not only just that, but he's also got to, he's got to get he's a little clumsy-ish to me still. You know what I'm saying? He's a kid. He's a little clumsy-ish. Like, I see his arms flailing all over the place. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm going to bring this video over, though, just so we can look at it a little bit. Watch the video a little bit, and then kind of look at him versus Kyle Kuzma. I'm going to stop it there, and let us take a look at him versus Kyle Kuzma. All right. This is Mitch Robinson, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have the music playing so that I can talk in the background, and you can see what Mitch Robinson does, right? And what he's going to do early in his career. He's a guy to go to the basket for lobs, clean up, get rebounds, right? And putbacks, set screens like he's doing right now. That's what he's going to do. And obviously a shot blocker. That's Mitchell Robinson right now. And I'm just asking you, just look at him a little bit when he's running, and you can see some of the, in my opinion, some of the clumsiness. I don't mean to call him clumsy. I'm not saying that. I'm just looking at, it's just the words that's coming out of my mouth, right? And of course, he catches this lob right there from Trae Young. Beautiful catch and dunk. Maybe I don't mean to say clumsiness, because you can see right here he can guard guys out on the perimeter, right? I guess what I should just say is, he just doesn't have all of his dexterity together yet. But now is what I want you to look at. This is Mitch versus Kuzma. All right. So let's take a look right here. You can see right now, as we're looking and as I got it paused, you can see where it says Mitch has a little bit of a trouble. And he's guarding Kyle Kuzma out on the perimeter. Now, obviously, this is not a favorable matchup for Mitchell Robinson. Although, why is it not a favorable matchup for Mitchell Robinson? It's not a favorable matchup for Mitchell Robinson because Kyle Kuzma is a little bit more developed. He's a little bit stronger. He's closer to the ground. Now, Mitchell Robinson can do a good job in spurts guarding guys out on the perimeter. But this right here, at this point in time, the USA team decided to go small. So Mitchell Robinson had no choice but to guard Kyle Kuzma, because Kyle Kuzma, guess what, was playing center. And this is what makes these small lineups so effective. So effective. Chester Chetnik Nason, you say Mitch is gangly. Yes, that's a very good word. Very good word. And Chester is one of my VIP members. Chester, I'm going to send you an email tonight because I have a question for you. All right, I have a question for you and an opportunity for you. My VIP members get opportunities. You know what I mean? But anyway, you see Mitch out on the perimeter, guarding Kyle Kuzma. So I'm gonna let this go. And you see, whoa, real quick. That was really quick, but you seen it. Pump fake. Mitch Robinson goes flying by. It's a good thing that he had help, because Kyle Kuzma would have been to the basket. Right, and Team USA gets an open shot. They miss. Mitch gets the rebound. All right, and you see Mitch coming down, setting screens. That's what he does. All right, screens again. Rolls to the basket. Doesn't get the rebound. Okay, now here's Mitch contesting. That's what he does always. He makes the guy, I think he makes him miss, or at least helps him to miss, because he's got those long arms coming out at you. Right? And now you're going to see him coming down. Now, here we go. Right? Now you got, again, Mitch and Kyle on the perimeter. And this could be, this could be a problem coming into the league. Right? Going into the season. In my opinion, it could be a problem if you're going to have, obviously Mitch is going to be on the floor. And so when people were laughing at the Knicks for having so many power forwards, let's look at this lineup that's on the floor right now. Kyle Kuzma is about 6'9", 6'10". And he's playing center. And he's playing center because he's athletic. He can pull Mitchell Robinson out of the paint, so now you don't have a shot blocker in the paint. This will happen in the NBA. This will happen in the NBA. Trust it. Trust it. So with us having these power forwards, guys that are 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", Bobby Portis is 6'11", it's not as big of a problem as people would have you think. It is not, because teams play small. And you're going to be able to see why right here. All right, so Mitch is guarding him. Bang. You see that? Knocks Mitch to the ground. All he did is drop his shoulder just a little bit. It has to do with a few things. It has to do with, one, Mitch Robinson just doesn't have as much, I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. It really isn't dexterity. It's something else. The motor skills aren't as developed. I mean, they're developed. He's 19, 20 years old. He's 20 years old. They're developed. But NBA grown man basketball playing developed. That's what I'm saying. Still got to develop those motor skills. And then just strength. Strength. Now, if he's playing with this and he has a sore knee, maybe that has something to do with it. I don't think so. I think it just has to do with development and strength. Coordination. That's the word I was looking for. Coordination. He's young, got a long, lanky body, gangly, like Chester said. He's got to get a little bit more coordinated. It's going to happen as he grows and develops and continues to play. All right, Mitch gets up, helps out. Now he's back out on the perimeter again. And see, this could be something. Listen, teams pay attention to everything. They're going to go small and they're going to try to pull Mitch Robinson out on the perimeter. Some guys he's going to be able to guard. Some guys he may have trouble. But that's why we got some of those other players that can come in if he starts to have trouble out there on the perimeter. Then here we go again. Pump fake. He's gone. Kyle to the hoop. And there you go. He's a young guy. He likes to block shots. He's going to have to learn how not to go for every pump fake. Because if he's playing some of these smaller guys on the perimeter when we get into the league, you best believe they know he's going for that. They know he's going for the block. That's what he wants. They know it. So listen, he's got Jeff Van Gundy out there with him. He's got some other vets out there with him. They're going to tell him. They're going to help him. They're going to teach him. When he gets back to the NBA, when he gets back with the Knicks, they're going to teach him that too. But see, those are the type of things, and I know there's a lot of people that disagree with me, but those are the type of things that, to me, say, maybe you give him a little bit of time before you just say he's going to be my start center. Give him another year. If you didn't have any guys, you got some guys now. If you didn't have any guys, okay, that's what you do. That's my things with Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be mad if he's starting. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to say Fitz is a bad coach or nothing like that. But that's just my reasoning for saying, you know what, he needs to learn a little bit. There's just a few things he needs to learn, because Mitchell Robinson is going to go for every pump fake right now, just like any kid out there in the park. You know what I mean? They're going to go for pump fakes because they want them blocks. What you think, Tony?
That particular play, I'm not too upset with, only because it was a backdoor cut. Like Kuzma gave up his dribble, so I could see why he jumped on that particular one rather than a pump fake where he could actually continue to dribble and go somewhere.
Yeah. Now see, my only thing there is he left his feet. Because even though Kuzma, he picked the ball up, he pump fake, you can come out and contest without leaving your feet, so you're still on your feet. And then if he tries to cut past you, you're still on your feet. The fact that he left his feet, that's what allowed Kuzma to be able to backdoor cut on him. That's going to be the big thing, him just not leaving his feet on every single pump fake. Yeah, he's going to have to learn that.
And it's gonna come with here's the thing: it's gonna come with repetition,
exactly,
and learning your players.
Yep.
Now, so with small, you got to know the team. If they run a small ball lineup, now you got to think of, you might not have been studying this particular guy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you might have been studying the big man, and not studying the small forward, power forward playing center.
Yeah, and so and all of that is is going to be experience, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be experience. Exactly. One thing, Chen in the chat, he said Mitch has to learn footwork, and Kyle Kuzma saw the footwork. I kind of agree with you a little bit there, because when I look at players, when I'm playing against people, that's one of the things that I look at. When I was playing one-on-one with Isaiah, let's go back to that. When I was playing Isaiah, the first thing I looked at was his footwork. That's the first thing I looked at, Chen. I looked at his footwork. And I knew right off the bat from his footwork how easy it was going to be for me to take him to the basket. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at somebody and you see their footwork and, they trip, they got their feet too close together. Maybe they got their feet too wide apart. You should have your feet should be like shoulder length apart, right? If they're fumbling over their own feet, you got them. You might be able to bust an ankle real quick. You know what I mean? That footwork, the footwork is the most important part of basketball. And Mitch he'll get that footwork down. I'm pretty sure he's got all of the talent. He's got all the talent, and I'm pretty sure he picks it up quick and easy. It's just repetition, practice, experience. You know what I mean? For him to get it. What do you think, Guillermo?
So two observations, right? One good and one bad, right? And one recommendation. I would say one good thing, that if you look at his knees, right? He actually, when he played that first clip where he had Kuzma on the perimeter, he jumped. His knees, in terms of bending, even though the angle at which he was trying to play was a little off, but a lot of guys don't get low. That's something that, you lose after you come out of high school, college. But that, the idea that he was actually bending that low, I thought was actually, impressive, because one, he doesn't have a strong base, right? So he's you're gonna have to bend low to get that center of gravity a little bit right, especially against the quicker perimeter guys. And I saw him do that. I don't know if Jeff Van Gundy's teaching that or whatever. Every time we see Mitch on perimeter, he's trying to jump and block. So that's one thing. And the bad thing is that, yes, he should not be jumping at that, right? You have to know who your players are. Now, if it's Steph Curry, obviously if you jump at a little hezzy, you wouldn't be too blamed for because one, you're Mitch Robinson, you're center, and it's Steph Curry. He can hit from anywhere.
Right.
But you need to have, what they call, and this is what all the great athletes do in team sports out of any sport you think of, football, basketball, especially baseball in terms of pitchers, they know who they're playing. So when you see Kyle Kuzma dribbling, it's nice he's doing his Team USA, but Kyle Kuzma's not going to chuck shots away from that point off the dribble. That's not his game. Now, if he's going to hit threes, it's from a pass, he's open, whatever. But he's not a guy who's going to chuck threes in front of your face. And I think that when you look at some of these teams, or I know it's Team USA, scouting is important. And Jeff Van Gundy, all these guys, they're going to teach about it. But you need to know who your opponent is, right? So if I know I'm playing LeBron James, he likes to shoot off. If I know he's going to shoot a three, it's going to be a dribble off the left. He steps back, tries to shoot the three. If he's dribbling this right, I know he's not going to shoot the three. So things like that, where it's like, all right, I know Kyle Kuzma's not going to shoot up the dribble, so I can play a little bit off him, try to force him to drive and make the pass. If he drives, I already have the rotation down there. He tries to drive on me, I block it. Like he blocked that. I don't know who it was who tried to drive on him. The guy almost beat him, but Mitch Robinson has such great turning ability. He's so tall that he just, he defended so well. So things like that, just to be smart. And that, again, with the Kyle Kuzma, the recommendation is, one, know your opponent, and two, you got to get a stronger baseman, because in the NBA, you're going to be stuck on an island with a lot more perimeter players. They're going to look to exploit that. Look at how they try to exploit Kanter, when we had him on the team with the pick and roll. So not saying he's not a good play against perimeter guys, but they're going to try to force him out, switch on a pick and roll, try to get him out, force him out of that center, so it makes it easier. And when he has perimeter guys going to try to shoot at him, jump on him, they might take that chance and try to bump him, use that energy, because his center of gravity is obviously weaker because he's so tall. So know your opponent and get that base stronger, man, because you're just too skinny, man. You got to get that base stronger so you can defend against these perimeter guys and bang down low with the big men.
Yeah. He and I think, I don't even know if Team USA, I'm thinking that they just kind of did it on a whim, said, hey, let's see how this goes. And it's going to take experience for him to learn when guys make an adjustment, just how to defend it. He's a kid out there, man. He's a kid out there. He's learning a lot. I love the fact that he's got Jeff Van Gundy with him.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's so great that he's working with Jeff Van Gundy.
And you guys also have to take into account Jeff Van Gundy, when him and Mark Jackson, it sucks because they impart so much wisdom on the ESPN games and the NBA games. And it's like, I'm happy to see Jeff Van Gundy back, because I think he wants to come back into coaching, but he's so old school and he's so detached away from how you have to be with these guys nowadays. And it's good to have that old school wisdom, because that stuff, it comes in handy, man. Like these old school guys, when you hear them talk in terms of like Mark Jack, like when you just hear them talk, I know they're a little bitter at times, whatever, but when you hear them talk, what they talk about in the game, it's so cerebral. And it's certain things you don't see as much from the everyday player nowadays. You see it from the top defenders, the Kawhi Leonards, the Giannis's, but those guys are just naturally gifted. You know what I mean? To hear Jeff Van Gundy back with these guys like Mitchell Robinson, it sucks that he got hurt, but I hope Mitchell Robinson is kind of still picking his ear and trying to pick his brain and get wisdom from this guy.
Exactly. Now, do you think, and this is a question for both of you, during this season, will teams try to go small so that they can neutralize Mitchell Robinson's shot blocking ability? Because they know right now, at least right now, he may have trouble. Listen, he's going to learn from this, but it's not going to happen overnight, right? So he still may have some trouble guarding 6'9", 6'10" guys out on the perimeter if a team chooses to go small that way. And a lot of teams, I believe, when they see Mitch Robinson is on the floor and they want to neutralize his ability to lob to the basket, neutralize his ability to block shots, because he's our only shot blocker on the team, they say, okay, let's go small. And that's going to force the Knicks to make a change, because
so they're not going to go. Look, Mitch Robinson, as good as a shot block he is, we still only won 17 games. Now, if Mitchell Robinson was if it was just Mitchell Robinson as like this absurd defensive stalwart and we won, say, 40, 50 games, it's absurd to think of that, then that's different. But if you only have one guy doing it, you don't have to go small. Like I said, all you have to do is just do a pick and roll, draw him out, and then have guys play off ball, driving to the basket where Mitchell Robinson is away from. That's all you have to do, just draw him out and then pass to the other side and have guys cut on the other side, have them cut to the basket, where Mitch Robinson can't,
draw him out.
Well, he probably could come back, but
you've got to have a center that can at least hit the jump shot to draw him out. If you don't have a center that can hit the jump shot, then it may not draw him out.
So if you have Mitchell Robinson pick and rolling, if I have, you're going to force him to switch, right, on the pick and roll. Or say if I don't pick and roll, say I just set the pick and try to draw him out. If I gotta have that, where you're gonna try to get him in place where he's kind of isolated on the island on the perimeter.
But see, if I'm David Fizdale, then I'm saying to my guards that you've got to fight over top of that screen. Mitch Robinson is gonna hedge, help out a little bit until Dennis Smith Jr., Elfrid Payton, Frank Ntilikina until they get back, and then Mitch Robinson's job is to get back to his guy. You know what I mean? So that he doesn't get isolated out on a perimeter with a smaller guard.
No, right, but you don't have to change your. What I'm trying to say is that you don't necessarily have to change your whole lineup, right? Like if it was, and I think most of the time, unless we play, say we play him, Portis, if we play like a really tall lineup, and for some reason like teams cannot get over us, they can't drive to the basket on us, then that's maybe you try to beat them with speed. But you'd have to see more from Bobby Portis. You have to see a combo of him and Portis playing together, which would be interesting. But Portis would have to be a defensive stalwart, just as much. And defensive stalwart in the sense of you can't body him down low, you can't, drive on him. Then maybe that's when you can try to go small and beat him with speed. But Portis still leaves a lot to be desired defensively.
Well, I'm talking about the other teams. I'm talking about what other teams go small.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying other teams that it would only behoove them to go small if we're playing a big lineup and they can't penetrate against us. Like if we have a guy like Portis who's 6'11" and he becomes a defensive stalwart on a team, on the Knicks team, and then it's like, all right, let's try to go small and beat them with speed because they're so tall. We can't back them down low. We can't really, play a post game on them. We can't really play a really strong half court game because they're using their size against us. It's tough. So let's try to beat them with speed, get them on fast breaks, try to use our speed to kind of break them down. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay. We'll see. We're gonna see how I'm gonna be watching that throughout the season. I'm really gonna be watching that to see because
and also someone said if we play RJ as a point guard and have that tall lineup.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying what the other team would do if we played big. We have the option to play big, Sim. We have a lot of forwards and we have a lot of big guys on the team.
Right, but that's in the backcourt. That still doesn't negate somebody throwing like a Kyle Kuzma in there who's 6'9" or 6'10" to play center. That's a little more. Has a little more dexterity, a little more footwork out on the perimeter that could give Mitch fits. I mean, the Knicks have the players to be able to match up with that, though. So,
and this is what I don't think is going to be a problem for him because I think he's that good of a defender. We've seen him guard the perimeter. We've seen him guard the paint. My favorite play of all of last year was, I forgot what team he played against, but someone drove to the basket, knocked him to the ground. He got up and ran and blocked the 3-point shot from another player. Yeah, my favorite player of all of last year.
Yeah,
but to get back to your question, I think just dealing with our own second unit in scrimmages and practices is going to help them a lot in that situation anyway, because we don't have another 7-footer on the team. So whoever he's guarding in practice, it's all going to be 6'10", 6'9", 6'7" guys.
Bobby Portis is like 6'11". If I'm Fizdale,
6'11".
Yeah, he's 6'11". If I'm Fizdale,
okay,
I'm gonna make Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson play one-on-one every single day after practice.
Yep. And that's what I mean.
I'm gonna make them play one-on-one every single day after practice and force Mitchell Robinson to guard, someone like that out on the perimeter. You know what I mean? Every day after practice.
Put them on the opposite scrimmage teams.
Yep.
Every day, every game.
Or I run some 3-on-3s, and Mitch Robinson to be the only 7-footer. Everybody else would be between 6'7" and 6'10", and Mitch Robinson's the only 7-footer. That way, no matter what happens,
and that'll help both sides.
Guarding. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So, because a lot of teams play these small lineups and want to get up and down the floor and want to try to exploit big men. Now, in the future, this is just talking about this year. When we get to the year after this year, And the year after that, it won't be a problem, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? You know, when he's a little bit older, a little bit stronger, and his footwork is together, I don't think it'll be a problem at all. You know, because, you know, it's going to take time for him to get there. Now I want to move on from Mitch, talk about another one of our young players. I want to talk about Dennis Smith Jr., right? Dennis Smith Jr. over the summer, he's been working on that jump shot, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, you've all seen it. And again, make sure you make your deposits, ladies and gentlemen, for those tickets are gone. But Dennis Smith Jr. is working on his jump shot. And I have to say, I'm looking at his jump shot. I'm going to show you a video in just a second. Right? I'm looking at his jump shot, and it looks almost perfect. Really, it does. Looks almost perfect. Take a look at this. Excuse me. I stumbled over myself. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, man. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, post them or post in my community section. So make sure you subscribe right now. Hit me with a thumbs up. Share this out to everyone. My last Mitchell Robinson video had 161 Facebook likes. Let's get this to 161 Facebook likes or even more. Put it on Reddit. If any of you are on Reddit, put it out there on Reddit, whatever it is. Also, quick announcement to all my VIP members. Check your email. You should have an email. One, the email is giving you the rules on how you can win this Frank Ntilikina autograph poster. Two, I may be having a special meetup on Sunday the 19th, on Sunday the 18th or Monday the 19th in Manhattan. So only VIP members will be invited. So if you're a VIP member, you'll be invited. All right? If you want to become a VIP member, just go to my website, nothing-but-knicks.com. You can become a VIP member. Let's take a look at Dennis Smith Jr. and his jump shot, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Right, ladies and gentlemen, there you seen it. You seen Dennis Smith Jr.'s jump shot. Of course, you've seen some other things mixed in. You've seen him going to the basket, getting some dunks, blah, 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 blah. But if you look at his jump shot, it looks good. Right? You can see on his jump shot, and I'm going to bring this over again so that you can see it once more. You can see on his jump shot, he's got the elbow. He's got an L. Right? So he's got this, ladies and gentlemen, and he's shooting from the peak of his shot. I still see a little bit. He's got to get the timing there a little bit, and he's got to get that snap on his wrist really good. You guys can't see it up there. You know, here, he's got to get that snap, that good snap on his wrist, but it's looking really, really good. You know, and I like the way it's up nice and high. It's got the elbow nice and tight. It's looking good. I'm hoping that his jump shot, if Dennis Smith Jr. can shoot at a higher clip from the field, from three, could be something different, ladies and gentlemen. It could really be something different. So if you're looking at this now, you can see it. What I do notice sometimes is he's kind of got his shoulders faded back just a little bit. Not always straight up and down. Now, some of that is because, he's pulling up off the dribble with someone there. But you got to like the form and the way that he's shooting. Now we'll see. Right now, all of his shots have come off the dribble. Everything's come off the dribble. We'll see if he's going to be able to just, catch the ball off of someone penetrating kick, and can he catch it and go up? We'll see if he's going to be able to do those things. Obviously, you can see the athleticism and him getting to the basket and those type of things. That's always been Dennis Smith Jr. 6'5", and he can just go up and go up off the bounce, get his elbows above the rim. But I really want this kid's jump shot to be where it needs to be. Because if his jump shot is where it needs to be, man, we could be looking at something really, really nice. Really, really nice this season with Dennis Smith Jr. He's the guy that can take that leap forward. He can take that leap forward. You know what I'm saying? If he takes that leap forward, look, I'm not making the prediction. I ain't making no predictions. But if Dennis Smith Jr. takes a leap forward, Mark, if Dennis Smith Jr. takes that leap forward, I see you smiling, Mark. You know what I'm saying if he takes that leap forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, Mark, if Dennis Smith Jr. takes that leap forward, we could be looking at a special, I'm not talking about championship-wise, but a very good feeling season for the Knicks if Dennis Smith Jr. can take that step forward. That jump shot, getting that jump shot right is a big step to moving forward. What you think, man?
Listen, I was there that day. That day is when I came 3 weeks ago, and I took that's the day where I saw his jump shot. And like you said, his gathering is a little slow. He needs to, make that a little quicker. Mm-hmm. That comes in time. But like I said, if it's not just his shooting, it's also his shot selections.
Of course.
Dennis Smith.
Yes. Yeah.
I just want him to be able to get the other guys in the game, because his game is more predicated on himself most of the time. And I want him to be able to be that point guard, that lead guard. That's my only problem. Could he lead these guys as the point guard?
Okay.
If he could do, like I said, he got rid of that hitch. Uh-huh. He don't have that hitch. That hitch is gone. And it's kind of impressive how fast they got rid of it, honestly.
Yeah, well, you know what that says to me? It says to me that
that's Coach Fizz work plan, man.
Well,
you see these young boys?
Well, you got the coaching, right? You got coaching, but it also says to me that he's one of those guys that is able to learn easy. You know what I'm saying? And but it is very hard. He's 21 years old.
Yeah.
It's hard when you've been shooting a certain way for a certain amount of time. It's hard to change it. So
it is.
Been able to, make those changes, shows you that he has the work ethic. Right?
Oh, the thing is too with that is you're gonna have this work ethic with Fizz being there. And that is the whole thing. You could see it in all of the Knicks young players. He's gonna make them have work ethic, because just look at Knox alone.
Well,
look at Knox alone.
I don't know if you can make somebody have work ethic. I think it's got to be in you, because you.
It depends, because, like I said, with Knox, my problem was, what is his motor like? But for him to be in the gym working on his game, well, he knows well enough what he has to do. Even when you hear him speak, he knows what he has to do. And if he's speaking, if he's aware of what he has to do, that means there's that you can be taught, things to make yourself better. They're showing them things to make themselves better. That's the thing with why I believe in Fitz so much, because I think he has plans for each one of them that's going to be here. And for Dennis Smith, I believe that he knows this year is so big for him and his career. That's why part of me is kind of, I'm not saying that he's not going to work hard, but I want to see when it comes to the season, because he knows if the season don't go the way he want to go, it's going to be a hard decision for the Knicks to, actually pay him.
Yeah.
And that's another thing.
I agree with you. But I think obviously coaches can put plans in place and things like that. Coaches can put plans in place. They can do all these things.
Yeah.
Work ethic to me comes down to players. You can't really force someone to have work ethic.
I don't think they force them.
Like,
but
you can make a player. You can say you're gonna run 25 suicides, but you can't make that person run it to the point where they get something out of it. It's up to that person to do it. You know what I mean? So the fact that he's out there, he's able to make a change to his jump shot, and he's able to do those things, I think that's kudos to him, because at the age that he is, it's hard to change something like that. When you lose habits, it's hard.
It is.
It's very hard.
You know what's crazy? I think Fizz has technology that Miami used that they could show you before and after what your transformation could look like if you work on such and such.
Okay.
So like I said, a lot of what Fizz is implementing is what he's taken from Miami. And Miami has a technology that shows you your before and after. This is what you look like. This is what you need to do to look like this. And it motivates guys down there. So I think that's what he's bringing here. And I like that, because it's more about, if you want to play on this team, you have to do such and such to be able to get those minutes.
Yeah. I want to take a listen to Dennis Smith Jr. And this is from about a month ago. Some of you guys may have already heard this. This is from this is MSG Networks, of course. Let's take a listen to Dennis Smith Jr.
With Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis, a lot has been made about this new shot that you've been working really hard on, but I actually want to take you back a little bit. When did you make the decision that you wanted to tweak things, and how happy are you with what you've seen so far?
I would say it was towards the midway, my stint with the Knicks, it was like around the middle point of that, so probably around the 10th or 11th game. I started getting working with Smarty at nighttime, and we kind of decided it's kind of difficult to change the shot mid-season. So we said we're going to take really didn't take time off actually. So as soon as the season was over, we started getting working on the shot, and the videos that's been up, it's the product of what we've been working on. It's not finished yet. It's a lot of work to still be done, but we've been making progress. The
videos look smooth. Your shot looks great. What else do you want to add to it at this point?
Just getting it like that every single time. I'm getting consistent with it, and I'm getting the muscle memory, but I still have some work to do to where that'll be my motion every time I shoot. Make sure my elbow stays in every time. It's really the small things I got to focus on, and once I can do those at full speed all the time, I'll be good.
5 new signings for the Knicks become official today. Alfred Payton joining the squad. You've always been a guy that loves a challenge in the competition. How do you think you two are going to push each other?
Did you say RJ?
Alfred.
Oh, Alfred. I think we're going to compete. We're going to compete in practice, and he's a great basketball player, and I'm trying to work my way to greatness. So every day will be a battle, and I'm looking forward to it.
Knicks fans very excited about the fact that you said you think this team can make the playoffs this season. So let's take that one step further. If this team is going to make the playoffs, what's that jump that you think this squad needs to make?
We have a great staff, great coaches. We got a lot of guys who really compete. I think the main thing, and not really being selfish when I say this, I think it's going to be me making a big jump. I I believe Iggy's going to come in and contribute, and I believe RJ, you know, my biggest thing is to help him win Rookie of the Year this year, you know, and if he can do that, I think we'll definitely be in the playoffs.
Rookie of the Year would be fabulous. But let's talk about Iggy for a second, too, because I think he's surprised a lot of people.
Surprised me.
You love the toughness, and he's bringing that. Right. What does that bring to the squad this season?
It brings some excitement. It brings some excitement to the team, to the staff, and more importantly, I think it can bring some hope to the fans. You know, they've been sticking with us, and you know, last year was a tough year, and the year before that was a tough year. But we got guys like Iggy coming in, we got guys like RJ that bring that toughness. All the people we signed are tough, so I think it gives a lot of hope to the fans.
Thanks, Dennis. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and so you can hear there. One thing that strikes that really struck me in that interview is this. What I really love that he said, and this goes back to what you were saying, Mark, about him being that facilitator, that leader, right?
Yeah, he said, gotta work on that.
Right, but what he said, if I can help RJ to win Rookie of the Year, if I can help RJ to win Rookie of the Year, that's the type of thing that I want to hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because now when he says that, that means that what I like about RJ and what he showed me in the last few games is identify where he's good at, which is in the mid post. So if he can identify anytime RJ sets himself in the post and know how to throw that entry pass, that's the way of getting him better. So it's not necessarily always driving, pick and roll, kick. No, it's just putting your guys in spots. That's all I want to see with Dennis Smith this year as a point guard. You put these guys in spots where they can become good. Like with Knox, he's going to be spot up a lot. So when on fast breaks, you've seen him run into corners, or just make those quick passes for him to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's not about just pick and roll all the time. It's about putting players in their spots and getting the pass to them right there and then. Don't waste no time.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying is the fact that he says he wants to help RJ Barrett win Rookie of the Year. He wants to, that goes to the mindset, of how he's thinking.
And the thing is, what he's aware of, he knows if he could show a level of production, a competent point guard from night to night, being consistent, this team could win a good amount of games, because when you have a point guard that can direct and can affect the game a little bit, slow it down from time to time, that's how you win ball games, man. Yep. And if he's aware of that, then we're on a great track of getting good in this league one day.
Yeah, and he was.
But he's important. Like I said, we have him now. He's important. He's very important because, again, he gets to the rack and he penetrates. So that's what I want in my point guard.
Yeah.
I need my point guard to break down defense.
Yeah, and listen, he's been, he was working with, I don't know how long or how much he was actually working with Chris Paul, but hopefully Chris Paul was able to impart some knowledge on him and help him with that, being the guy that, can facilitate. But let's put it like this. If Dennis Smith Jr., here's the thing, if Dennis Smith Jr. this season is learning how to facilitate, we better be prepared to be patient, because it's not going to come all at once. And also, is it not only is it not going to come all at once, but also it's going to take away some of what he does with penetrating to the basket, with doing those type of things, because he's trying to learn how to facilitate. So it might take him a little while to put those two things together. So as fans, we got to be patient and let that happen. If we see that he can't do it, you got to be patient and let him learn how to blend both styles of play, which can be done, but he'll have to learn how to blend both styles of play. You know what I mean? And that's not an easy task. That's a tough task. Let me get to a phone call real quick. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
Hey, what's up, Tim?
What's good with you, homie? You're Mark's favorite caller.
Great.
You are Mark's favorite caller, hands down.
Oh, I've heard that.
What's good with you, man?
I've heard that. Hey.
What's good with you?
Hey, not much, man. Thank God you're back on the air. I've been, other than the Mets, you're my sports break for the summer. So
I feel you.
We're missing you, bro.
Yeah, man. I had to take a day so I can help my daughter get some things together. But I'm back. Back in the building. Man. Back in the building.
No, but are we still talking about Dennis Smith Jr.?
Yep. Still on DSJ.
Yeah. No, I know you've gone over it a couple times, but I just like what he said. I like what he said about helping RJ. I really like that he noticed that. I just think it's a good thing that he shouted out Iggy like that. Mm-hmm. That's a boost of confidence for that young man. Mm-hmm. To know a pro actually looks at him and says that's a guy who's going to help that team.
Right.
I mean, I just don't like the fact that I would feel sick if those guys said didn't come in saying we're going to the playoffs. Like I want my players saying we're going to the playoffs because it's just I've never played on a team where we said we weren't going to the championship.
I agree with you. Now I'm gonna say this. I've played on a team where I knew damn well we were not winning no championship. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
And we came into it like
my high school had 400 kids total. We weren't winning nothing. We went into every game like we were about to shock the world, and we had some great games, but there was a lot of stinkers. So
yeah, I hear you.
I like that. I like that Bobby Portis is in there saying, "Hey, we're going to the playoffs," and he's got a goal: 6th man of the year, RJ, rookie of the year, Dennis Smith Jr. If he's trying to get most improved, and you have Randall and Mitch. And RJ, okay. I mean, we got a team, and with some luck, and unfortunately with some injuries, it's not unfeasible for us not to make the playoffs. I mean, guys get injured all the time. I don't think Detroit's a lock. I don't think Miami's a lock. There's 4 locks and 4 wide open spots.
Okay.
So if our guys are overconfident and they're coming into the season with their heads up,
well, they should. Yeah, they should. They should. They should. I mean, I'm just saying. I've been on teams where I looked around my players and said, "Oh damn, I don't know what the hell we about to do, but damn." You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Knicks look around at themselves like that, though. They understand what they got. They know they got some players there. Can they put it together? That's going to be the question. Can they put it together and overachieve? They're set up. They are set up, in my opinion, to be able to overachieve.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need everything to break for us, but if Mitch and RJ come out there and play if Mitch takes a step up and RJ actually plays up to his potential.
Okay.
I mean, and I think Julius Randle's going to get 25 and 8 this season. I just have a feeling that Julius Randle is going to unleash this season. So
I hope so. He's in.
I like position. Our training. I respect our staff. I mean, I liked how we weren't languishing in free agent hell after Kevin Durant signed. It was boom, 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 boom. We signed strategically. We signed exactly who we wanted, and got them and put them in there. Those guys had those guys on paper for months before they did that. So
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you there. Hey man, we'll see what they're gonna do, man. I appreciate the call. We'll get to a couple other guys.
No problem.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Tim, and I'm sorry, Mark. I don't know what I did to you, but
he just messing with you, man. That's just Mark.
We go meet up at one of these games.
Yeah, that's just Mark. He's just messing with you. Mark got a big mouth.
I'm just messing with him.
Yeah. All right, man. Peace.
Have a good night, guys.
You too. Yeah, Dennis Smith Jr. Let me see. Guillermo, man. Let me ask you, Guillermo. Well, I see Guillermo's having a conversation with Mark. I'm going to call to Tony, then I'll get back to Guillermo. Tony. Do you think that Dennis Smith Jr. can learn how to be that facilitator? Is it in his DNA?
I think so. I think so. I never really thought of him as a selfish guard. Or you know what I mean? I've always considered him a point guard. I think he made some lazy passes, but it's like what you said. You like to hear him say he wants to get RJ Rookie of the Year. I think he's always been that type of person. Like I want my teammates to get off shots. I think the main thing was missing is the jump shot, because that is going to open a lot of things. It's going to open up passing lanes. It's going to open up driving lanes. It's going to do a lot for him.
Yeah.
I think he could average 8 assists easily.
What did he average last year? What did he average last year? 5 or 6? 5 or 6 assists last year?
Say that again?
I said, what did he average last year? 5 or 6 assists?
I think 5.
5? Okay.
I think 5. Yeah, but I think he could average it. You know, it's weird because sometimes players average 8 assists and it's still like, oh, he's like, people still say Westbrook is a selfish point guard, and he averaged at least 10 assists for the past 3 years. I think individual players have to play to their strength. So if his strength is not a natural passer or an exceptional passer, he has to use what he does well to make the opportunities for passes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's the type of guard he's been.
Right. And see, I don't know that he's a selfish player. His best skills are going one-on-one. Right. That's, in scoring, that's his best skills. Getting to the bat, getting to the rack. That's his best skill right now. I just don't know if it's in his mindset to be just because a player isn't a facilitator doesn't mean that they're selfish, right? I'm not sure yet if it's really his mindset to his first thought be, let me get everybody else together. Let me make sure that everybody is in the right spot, in the right position. Let me make sure this person is getting the ball because they're hot. I don't know if that's his mindset. If that's his mindset,
okay.
And if it's not someone's mindset, can they? I
understand what you're saying.
Can they,
as far as taking charge as a leader?
Yeah.
That and I guess you've always said the point guard should be the leader. He has to be a leader on the floor. So I don't know if he's quite there as far as putting people in their proper spots and calling them out in that way. But just being a good facilitator, I think he could do that easily. Because opening the jump shot is, like I said, the jump shot is going to open up a lot of other things for him, which is going to allow him to get these easier assists.
Yeah, I mean, I have no doubt that he can get assists. Even if he's not a facilitator, he's going to be able to get assists, right? He'll be able to penetrate and kick. But if I think your lead point guard, if you've got to have somebody who's that person on the floor that really does set everything up and make sure everyone is doing their job on the floor. I like it to be the point guard because the point guards have the ball in their hand, but it doesn't always have to be the point guard. I'm just not sure yet if he has that mindset. And if someone doesn't have that kind of a mindset, can they develop that kind of a mindset? I don't know.
Yes.
A lot of your point guards.
I think Sim over time they will.
Okay.
Almost every point guard. Like Dame Lillard, for example. Early in his career, or let me just say, like right now, he'll see a person, an individual teammate, and he has the mindset to say, "Oh, he hasn't had a shot in 4 possessions. Let me get him a shot." He has the mindset to say, "Oh, McCollum's hot right now. Let me get him the ball." Oh, Cantor just got a rebound. let me reward him. Like if that's the type of stuff you're saying, I think that has to be developed unless you're just that special coming in. But can he do it? I don't think he would develop that in like this year per se.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, it's not going to happen in 1 year. We'll see. And that's what I was saying earlier, man. If he's working on doing that, if he's working on being that type of guy, you'll see some struggles. And so we've got to be patient because you'll see some struggles with him, trying to find that balance between running the team and, also scoring. Guillermo, I'm going to come to you real quick.
Yeah, it was good, Sam.
Yeah, what do you think, man?
I love it, man. Like, if you listen to what this guy said, man, like I said, man, this is a guy who's been around teams. He got drafted to a team. They didn't really want him, kind of discarded him. And last year, the whole tank thing. And one thing I heard that he said, when you listen to him, man, like, two things I heard: self-awareness and humility. Right? Mm-hmm. When you can do that, and there are a lot of guys in NBA, because what they were in high school, what they were in college, they never get out of that mode, right? They never say to themselves, all right, look, this guy at 6'1", both his knees, I think he tore both the ACLs and both his knees, and he has more jumps than guys I've seen who were flying. Like, his genetics are just stupid. But he's not resting on his laurels, Sim. And I like the fact that he said, look, I didn't want to change during the season. And that's good, because you don't want guys holding your head. You don't want guys changing your mindset, blah, blah, blah. You need to be focused. So, look, let's work on the offseason. I love that he looked at his weaknesses. He doesn't really care about his strengths, and he's trying to fix them. Now, look, he's trying to fix his shot. Like, I agree with you, Sim. I wouldn't say it's near perfect, but it looks a lot better. I would like to see him also shoot off ball. But one thing with DSJ, and this is the thing that I hope that he's developing from Chris Paul, and I hope Fizdale put him in touch with Chris Paul, because that shows that Fizdale is not just here for, you never heard Hornacek doing this. I want him to be developing these guys in the regular season and in the offseason. One thing he has to do is also decision-making. Because, look, you can be a good shooter all you want. But if, like Mark said, you got to be a guy who's commanding the floor. You got to be the floor general, right? You got to be the Chauncey Billups of that team. You got to be the Gary Payton of the team. Send up. And not saying you have to call every call, but know what the defense is giving you. Know the flow of the game. Last year, what you saw when KP and what's his boy's name? Tim Hardaway. I still remember that game where KP was hot and Tim Hardaway kind of got jealous and started chucking up shots, and KP looked like, yo, dude, that's not a good shot. We don't need that. We need a guy who's, look, I'm not going to sit here and score 25 points or take 20 shots, but if I facilitate and get other guys involved, the shots that I get are going to be a lot easier. They're not going to double team me as much, if I'm chucking a bunch of shots, they're not going to pay attention to me as much. I can drive to the basket. I can play off ball. I can do a lot of things because everybody on my team is dangerous. And I think that if he gets that down packed in terms of how he commands his team, that synergy with his players, look what happened with, even though I'm just talking about synergy-wise, I'm talking about side-wise, look what happened to D'Angelo Russell and the Nets. If you get a team of young guys, young and veterans, all playing for each other, and there's no selfishness, and they're all playing to each other's talents. All right, this night Knox is feeling himself. He just shot 4 for 5 in the first half. Let's keep feeding him. Oh, RJ Barrett is driving to the basket. His man can't take him. Let's keep feeding him. Hey, Mitch Robinson is, 7'10" from, alley hoops or whatever, blah, blah, has a high field goal percentage down low. Let's keep feeding him. If we have that type of team and DSJ is running that, sky's the limit for him, because he has a natural talent, but he's working on his stuff in the summer, and he's talking like, look, I'm trying to get RJ Barrett the rookie of the year. If I could get him that, as beautiful. And he's humbling himself, Sim. Like, I love it. See him from what he was last year, discarded for the Mavericks, get into fights with guys and blah, 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 and now he's trying to be the leader's team. Hey, man, if he could do that, salute to him, because look, Jason Kidd wasn't great his first year. Steve Nash wasn't great his first year. Gary Payton himself said, look, I had to humble myself, because the first year I thought I was an ish, and the NBA told me you ain't ish. When you change your attitude to make yourself better despite your talent, man, those are where the real stars come from, man. Hopefully you could do it, man, because if you do that, this Knicks team, sky's the limit for him, man.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if he can do it. In more Dennis Smith Jr. news, big shout out to Dennis Smith Jr. He just, and by the way, make your deposits for opening night so you can see Dennis Smith Jr. ball. But he just got key to the city. He's from Fayetteville, and most people only know Fayetteville because of J. Cole, right? But Dennis Smith Jr. is from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and he received the key to the city. Take a listen.
The person actually reinvests in the community. This young man is the epitome of that scenario. Took his own time, money, and his platform to enhance a community that he grew up in and invested a great ballpark and a great facility in the city of Fayetteville in Seabrook Park. So let's give it up for Dennis and what he does. And Dennis, we would like to let you know I'm here with my colleague, Councilmember Kathy Jensen, who helped spearhead all of this. We couldn't be prouder, my friend, and we have today, we'd like to bestow upon you the highest honor in the city to present the key of the city of Fayetteville to you on behalf of the Fayetteville City Council, 208,000 citizens that are very proud of you, my friend. Congratulations.
Big shout out to Dennis Smith Jr., man, for receiving the key to the city, for, actually taking his own money and his own time to, help better the kids in the city and in the community. Fayetteville is not a large city. It's a small city. You know what I mean? So it's always good when people, have the heart to go back. And like you're saying, Guillermo, he's showing the signs of developing into a strong professional player. Those are the type of things that you want to hear about, your young players. You know what I mean? So real big shout out to Dennis Smith Jr. for getting the key to his city, to Fayetteville, North Carolina. Those are the type of things that you want to, coming back to you, Guillermo, those are the type of things that you want to hear from your young players, right?
Yeah, I love it, man. Getting the keys to the city. I just hope that, me and Mark were just talking about KD, and, it's amazing. I'm not saying that it's a night and day thing, but I'm happy that DSJ is being self-aware, because Kevin Durant is definitely not self-aware, but it's like nice to see the opposite of a guy who's like, look, I'm talented, but let me mature, let me grow up. And I hope Fizdale is doing that, because if Fizdale could do that with him, the coach whisper or the player whisper, I would love the Knicks to have that. So, look, I'm happy that Dennis Smith Jr. is doing this. And also, let's realize, Dennis Smith Jr. doesn't get in trouble or he's not doing drugs or whatever. So, let's also cut him some slack on that. Like, let's not be too hard on him. Like you said, Sim, point guard's the hardest position. It takes years to develop. You know what I mean? So, I'm just happy that maybe he found the right coach. And if that's the case, dude, Dennis Smith Jr. could be our beast point guard for the future, man. Even though I still like RJ Barrett playing point guard, but he can do that in spots. But DSJ, look, if this guy can get it all together, Sim, humble himself despite all the he has so many excuses to be mad at the world, Sim. How the Mavericks treated him and blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. He could be mad at the world, but he's not, and I love that about him. Growth. That's what we need from these guys. Growth and maturity, man.
Yeah, and I think that the stuff with Fayetteville, him winning the key to the city. I'm not trying to put down Fizdale. I'm just saying I think that that's something that was already in him. It's just in him. That's just my opinion. I think that's just that's him. He
needed somebody to put the arm around him, because after what happened with the Mavericks, how they iced him out. If you watch those games, how they iced him out in favor of Doncic. It was some grimy stuff, man. So Fizdale, hope he could put his arm around him, kind of like. I mean,
maybe basketball wise, but I think he has a strong father. He has a strong presence with a father. So I think I think he still has a lot of strong influence in his life without.
Oh yeah, no. And what I was trying. What I meant was that in terms of the basketball thing, right? So he could have a strong father, but it could be me and my family against the world, like F y'all, blah, blah, blah. There's some guys who don't listen to any coach. They listen just to their father, coach him. And yes, listen to your father, respect him. But in terms of the coaching, the game, if you have a coach who's there to actually help you and is doing a good job, some kids, they like, oh, it's just me. We don't need you. So DSJ, if he's opening up to Fizdale after what Carlisle did to him, if he's open up to proper coaching, I'm not saying father figure, but proper coaching, and that's a good thing, because Fizdale wants the best out of it. And Fizdale, if DSJ could shoot better, facilitate, if he could be anything like Mike Conley, Fizdale's gonna love him. Fizdale likes those type of point guards. So that's
That's a lot. I think that's a lot right now.
I didn't say he's going to be Conley.
Right now,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, hey, it's better than Frank, right? Because everybody kills me about Frank. Fizzo likes DSJ more than he likes Frank, so don't kill me because anytime I say anything about Frank, but hey, Fizzo likes DSJ.
Mike Conley is the ultimate facilitating type of guard who can also score the basketball. Let's give him a couple years before we say he's going to facilitate like Mike. I know you didn't say he's going to. You said if he can. But let's give him time to get there. Let's give him some time to get there because, that's the ultimate facilitating guard right there. Mike.
What is a four-year contract, right? Rookie, right? Rookie's a 4 year.
Yeah. So Dennis Smith Jr.'s contract is up this year.
Oh.
It's up this year, so the Knicks can choose at the end of this year to give him a qualifying offer, or he can become
well, with the weak PG market. We might bring him back just because the PG market is fairly weak, and I don't think I don't know draft wise, maybe Mark or Tony Kroos, but again, it might be a 3 year type of, or like a 2 year audition, same sense of give you a qualifying offer, blah blah, and you don't have to have pressure to try to put up numbers like Moutier, because Moutier was literally just looking for a next contract, and that's just that project flopped. Like he was scoring, but it meant nothing. You know what I mean? You have DSJ facilitating, leading his team, playing good basketball, getting guys involved, being a good leader, knowing when to do what, blah, blah. And you give him time to make those mistakes. Like you said, Sim, look, he's going to have games where passes aren't going, his shots aren't flowing. But if he shows that progress, hey, I don't mind giving him a contract. I don't mind keeping him on the team for the future.
Yeah, I could venture to say that everybody's performance last year was worth nothing.
Except for Mitch. Except for Mitch. Let's be honest, Sim. Mitch had a year that you were looking at him like, hey.
I guess.
You guessed?
I guess.
The boy had 178 blocks. What was it?
I'm just saying, when your team has 17 wins, like you said, what can it
That's
mean?
true, but for a kid who didn't play basketball, right? He didn't play college. Literally just got up off the couch, proverbially speaking. Obviously, he was working out or whatever. And didn't really have much of an offensive skill. Improved his game, wasn't fouling as much.
I get it.
Footwork got a lot better.
I get it. If he was playing for any other team but the New York Knicks, we wouldn't even have known that he existed right now.
If he was playing for the Lakers, you wouldn't have noticed last year?
Maybe not. If he was
Sim is trying to be too. Sim has something against Mitchell Robinson.
I don't have nothing against him. I think Mitchell Robinson is going to be a really, really good player for a very, very long time. I'm just trying to be truthful because what Knicks fans do all the time, the Knicks fans jump off the bridge one way or another. I'm just trying to look at it through an objective lens. If he was playing for another team, and not the New York Knicks, he probably would have spent most of his time in the G League. But the Knicks, the Knicks was the Knicks. He was playing for another team. Because think about something. For the Lakers, half of the season, the Lakers were in playoff contention.
That's true. You're right.
They was in playoff contention half the season. I'm just saying. I'm not trying.
Yeah, you're right. I'm only joshing with you, but you're right. Look, Mitch Robinson. You're right. Look, Mitch Robinson wasn't Giannis. We didn't win 40 games because of Mitch Robinson. But for what he was given, like Tony Kroos said, for what he was told to do, out of all those other guys, I give him some side. I'm not saying you praise him. Look, like you said, it's a competition.
I knew this. Listen. I knew this was going to happen, right? I'm looking in the chat. Joshua Richards, he said, Sim is hating on Mitch like how he used to hate on KP. Why is it that I got to be hating on somebody because I say my truth? Because I speak my truth, I got to be hating on somebody. I don't get that. Why do I have to be hating on somebody because I speak my truth? Because I say that I think the kid needs to work on certain things. It doesn't mean that I don't like him. Somebody else in the chat said I don't like Mitch. I love Mitch. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I got a girl on my team, on my middle school team, right? She's in the 6th grade. She's 5'10". The goofiest, clumsiest person on the floor. Listen, we were playing a game last night, right? Was it a game? Was it last night? Yeah, last night. We were in a game last night. And I tell her, I said, you're guarding number 30, right? Don't let her out of your sight. Be with her. You know what she says to me? She says, so you want me to play defense at her and rebound the ball? I have to do both? I'm like, yes, you got to do both. You got to do both. You got to play defense at her and you got to rebound the ball. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not hating on her. I love her. I'm not hating on her. But she has a lot to learn.
You know, Sim, you gotta tell some of your players basketball might not be for them, man. Stop being nice.
Basketball is for her. Trust me. She has the tools. She just never played before. This is literally probably the 15th game of her basketball career. She just started playing last year, right? She doesn't understand how to hustle. I sat her down last night, and I sat next to her. I said, you know why you sitting here next to me? She was looking mad. No. I said, because you're not hustling for rebounds. You can't, just because you're taller than everybody on the floor. And listen, she still had about 14 rebounds last night, right? And I said, but I told her, just because you're the tallest person on the floor, you should be able to almost dominate every single rebound. You tower over everyone. But you're not hustling. You're standing there and watching as the ball zips by you, as the ball hits the floor. You're standing there and watching. You know, I was like, so when I put you back out there, I need to see you hustling, jumping for the rebound, not standing there to get the rebound. Because, and this happens to a lot of players, right? They're taller than everybody. So they never learn how to jump to get the rebound. They never learn how to, you know, they stand there and they can get the rebound. So they never learn how to jump. So I'm trying to teach her how to jump to go get the basketball and show her how to get the ball at its peak, not wait for it to come to her. I'm trying to show her everything. You know what I'm saying?
But Sim, Mitch did that in the first year.
I mean, he should have did that his first year. He's 20 years old.
Yeah, but everything that we complained about Mitch in the beginning of the season, outside of him, you know, shooting, which he hasn't done, Mitchell Robinson showed a lot of growth, especially when DJ came.
I know. I'm just saying. Because she's showed a lot of growth too, right? But there's still a lot of things she has to work on. So just because I point out that she has to work on these things does not mean that I don't like her.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I love this young lady. I just want her to get better. So I got to show her where, of course, I congratulate her when she does well and she does the things that I'm asking her to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I show her where she has to do and what she has to do to get better. So for everybody in the chat saying that I hate Mitch Robinson, I'm hating on Mitch Robinson. I'm not hating on Mitch. I'm not hating on Mitch. I'm just being realistic. I'm a realist. And from what I see, if he was on any other team, most other teams, maybe one or two, but most other teams.
I would say this, Sim. A lot of teams, I'm not sure because look at the Nets. I mean, obviously they have the Allen kid, but Mitchell Robinson is basically that plus a lot. But like, you have to take a leap of faith to not put Allen, just keep him in the G League for years and then bring him up. I don't even know what his origin is, but yeah, I would say Mitch Robinson. I agree with you, but I don't think every team. You know, Mitch Robinson showed that.
Yeah, I mean, right. So for Phoenix,
off the bench.
Right. So, you know, I mean, you look at the teams that were, you know, just as garbage as us, right? Phoenix and whoever else.
Right. They got Ayton.
They would have, you know, maybe the Hawks. You know, they would have played them, but you know, I mean, I'm just saying.
No. He could get better. One thing I'm getting mad, they don't make him shoot. Like, I'm tired of them not force him to shoot the damn ball. Like, give him some sets where he's shooting the damn ball. Like, he has nothing to lose. Like, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
whatever. That's for another day.
You know, I mean, USA basketball, that's not gonna happen.
Right. But Summer League didn't happen.
They're not really concerned about his development. You know, we'll see if that happens when he gets with the Knicks in preseason and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, see, look, C Mac said realist equals hater. See what I'm saying? See? So let me ask you this, C Mac. Right?
It was mad.
Let me ask you this. If you wear a size 10, But you want a pair of sneakers that you really, really like them, but they're a size 13. They're the only pair, and I say, no, they look dumb on your feet. Am I hating or am I just being real? I'm being real with you. I'm not hating. I'm just telling you they look like clown shoes because they're too big. You know what I'm saying? But you want them just because they look nice. Just because Ross had them for $12.99. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some of you guys don't know what Ross Stores is. But anyway, I'm just being a realist, ain't being a hater. I'm just telling it like it is, man. You know what I mean? Like C-Mac, if I see you hoop and you garbage, I'm gonna say you trash, man. That don't mean I'm hating on you. I'm just saying you trash. You know, that's all. I'm just being a realist, man, from what I see, from my perspective. That's all. Saying from my perspective. Tony, what's good, man? Then I'm gonna get to a phone call.
All right. I ain't gonna call you a hater. I'm gonna just say you was exaggerating. Cause I can't think of one team that has two centers that will play over Mitch Robinson. And I can't think of half the teams that have one center that will play over him.
I don't know, man.
The teams that do have a center that will play over him, like a Gobert or even like who we had DeAndre Jordan. It would have increased his learning curve as it did. So again, I ain't gonna call you a hater. I think you was just exaggerating, saying that he got a lot. He still has a lot to learn. Like he's still wet behind the ears, or a novice. So. But again, like I've been saying from like the beginning of the year, the things that he does well is he does well enough to keep him on the court.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a lot of it's a lot of centers in the league, man. It's a lot of centers in the league.
But two that would have played over him on one team. I mean, like that's what I mean. Like even if he wasn't a starter, he would have been a backup. He any team. Like I think it's the opposite. Like I
don't know. I don't know. I think especially if they're a good team, I think they would have said we're gonna let this kid develop for about 2 years.
But give me an example of like, on Golden State, he would have played. Like
he would have played on Golden State.
Absolutely. And you want to know why? Because of what he does well. So we got a guy that's going to catch rebounds and catch lobs, like wide open lobs. Like yes, you see what they did with McGee.
Yeah, but JaVale McGee been in the league for years. You know
he has, but his IQ is the same as his rookie season.
I don't know. JaVale McGee, when he went to the Warriors, man, he had some good seasons with the Lakers too. He did some good things. I mean, let's be real. Dennis Smith. I mean, Mitch Robinson was like, what he had? What was 7 points, 6 rebounds last year. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to hate on him. I'm just calling it what I see. He was 7.6 rebounds, on a 17-win team. You know what I mean? So, we got to get his time. I don't want people to start. Every time we start putting too many expectations on people, then we quickly get disappointed and turn off from them. You know what I'm saying? Let's let him. I want everybody to let the kid grow into what he's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Without too many expectations, man, because people are going to be expecting him, to come in and I thought once he got 30 minutes a game, he was going to average a double-double or do this and do that. And if it doesn't happen right away, you know what I mean? Let's give him a chance to grow into his body, grow into his mind, grow into that all-star NBA player. You know what I mean? Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's good?
Hey, what's going on, son? It's Jerry from Brooklyn.
What's up? What's going on with you, Jerry?
I'm good, man. I was actually at the MLK game, so I don't know if everybody's signing up for that, but it was a great time. So if there's tickets left, y'all should definitely look out for that and
yeah, man,
get some tickets, man.
Yeah, man. There's still some tickets. There's still right now we're doing down payments on opening night tickets, so there's still we still got some left. There's less than 20. So if you're gonna get them, you might want to jump on them joints.
All right, cool. I don't know what the topic of discussion is. I just started tuning in, but I heard we're talking about hate, and I got some hate to spread. I hope people don't get mad.
Okay. Well, any of it about Frank Ntilikina?
Well, I'm a big Frank Ntilikina fan, but honestly, I'm not getting my hopes up. I've seen some of the French footage that I think Knicks Fan TV posted up, and it seems like, I know he was injured, so he must be getting his feet wet. But I'm just,
Frank's injured.
To me, in the NBA, basically you have to score. Like it's obviously he's a great defender, but if you can't put buckets on the board, at least like 6, 7, 8 a game consistently and work your way up, then you're not gonna make it in the league. So I wish the best for Frank, but I'm done getting my hopes up for him.
Okay, well that's what I was just gonna ask you. Did you watch any of his performances? Now you said Frank was injured. Frank is injured right now?
Well, I know he was injured for a while. I think this is his first game back professionally in a couple of months.
Oh well, yeah, he was. So, I think he's 100% right now. I think he's 100%. Did you get a chance to watch any of the French national team preparation games?
No, I didn't get to watch any full games, just highlights.
I mean, they didn't miss much. Frank just looked like the same Frank that we usually see. I think in the first game he had 2 points, 6 assists. Second game he had 7 points, 5 assists. First game he only shot 3 times. He was 0 for 3. He did hit his 2 free throws. Second game I forgot what he shot. Now, of course, you got to put it in a little bit of perspective because, like in the second game, he scored 7 points. I think the highest score on the team was maybe 13 or 14. They played the game a little bit differently. But it's the same things, that we've seen even in the NBA. He played some defense. His defense looks better than it's only been 2 games, so you can't say much from him. But, his defense looked okay. Obviously, you're playing against lesser talent than in the NBA. You're playing against lesser talent, when he's playing against Tunisia or he's playing against Turkey. So he's, so his defense should look better on the ball. Again, open shots. Frank's he's got to knock him down. He's not knocking him down. So far that's been Frank's performance in FIBA.
Okay. My whole thing with Frank is I just want him to not be hesitant when he shoots. When he pulls up, I just want him to just be confident and pull up. Like, if the shot goes in, it goes in. But, like, it seems like, I know in the first game, one of the shots he seemed hesitant to shoot. And I'm just like, come on, man. You just got to – you're already in the league. Like, you're already on the team. You're already on the floor. Just let it hang loose. Like, for some reason, it seems as though he's nervous. And I don't know what it's going to take for him to shake that off. I don't know if it's going to happen. I hope it does, because he has a very nice ceiling. I think if he reaches his potential, he'll have a nice career. I don't know if it'll be anything crazy, but he could be a Bruce Bowen type, where he could be a nice little key on a championship team. Yeah. But for me, the Knicks should have sent him to the D League. I don't know why they didn't send him to the D League last year. But if that's how they want to run the operation, then that's what they're going to do with Frank. But I was disappointed that he didn't spend any time in the D League, because he needs some playing time. The only way he's going to play and get his confidence up is to get better. And if he has to go to the D League and play against lesser competition, then I feel like that would benefit him.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks kind of had a D League team last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. So.
But what I called about a couple of things. I'll make it quick.
Yeah.
But one of the main things that I don't think I've ever heard on any of the shows that I see during games about Alonzo Trier that I wanted to bring up is that I'm a big fan of him. I like his attitude. He's a dog, but for me, his style of play when it comes to the fast break, it's very dangerous. I don't know if he's ever learned or practiced the 3-man weave, but every time I see him go in and he's got a teammate running beside or two, and he doesn't pass the ball, he puts them in a scenario where they can get injured. Like I've seen it plenty of times, and it drives me nuts. And I hope that he does just 3-man weaves the whole summer and figures out how to pass the ball, because somebody's going to get hurt. Like, I don't know if you've seen that, Tim, in certain plays where they're driving, they're on the fast break and everybody's running and he doesn't pass the ball, and you see where the players end up. But it really drives me nuts. And if he can shake that habit, then I feel like it just drives me nuts, Tim.
Who was that again? Who was that?
Alonzo Trier.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure he's run, plenty of 3-man weave. The Knicks as a whole last season, though, did not run lanes well on the fast break, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
As a whole, the team just did not. They just did not run the lanes well. Guys would be bunched up on the fast break, and hopefully, we see that looks a little bit better this year. But yeah, I think as a whole, I didn't see the guys run that fast break very well.
Yeah. And also I think, this is a fact. I've been seeing so many articles about the Knicks during the 2012-2013 season from random media, and I know it's definitely a reaction to Dolan banning the Daily News. I think he did it twice. He did it sometime during he did it twice. I can't remember what instances it was, but I know one was recently. And you can definitely see the backlash with all these articles talking about the Knicks regimes from 5 years ago. It's annoying to me, but it's also comical. It's like the smear campaign is getting hot and heavy right now, and it's funny because I feel like the organization is slowly but surely turning away from that whole era. And all this stuff is popping up. I don't think Melo is a part of it per se, but I don't think his interview that was really for him helped in that regard. But it's really funny to see.
Yeah, that's the media for you. That's what they do. The media will always find ways to hate on the Knicks. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. It's always going to be like that. They find ways to hate on the Knicks. They don't like the Knicks. Or some of them don't even care.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just they're trying to put money in their pocket. So the Knicks is a hot topic.
Yeah, they're
going to find a way to mention it in wherever they can, so they can be attached. Their name could be attached to that.
Right. They just know that if they say, the Knicks are always going to get they're always going to get some pub. You know what I'm saying? So if they say something about the Knicks, they know that, Knicks fans are going to, say and do whatever. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? I don't know if there's much we can even do about it.
There's nothing we can do. Just sit and watch.
It's been that way, and I think it's always going to be that way. I had my little rant about it. And I'm not afraid to have my rant about it again if it starts to get too crazy, because sometimes I get frustrated just like you. You know what I'm saying? But I do have a little message for those guys. You know what I'm saying? It's on my Twitter page. You can go on my Twitter page and check it out. You know what I mean? It's a matter of...
Yeah, I think I checked it out. I'll watch it in dark times.
No, I'm not even talking about a full little message, a full message. Something real quick that I got for all the media guys and all the turncoat fans. This is all I got to say to you right here. It's on my Twitter page.
All right, I'll check it out, definitely.
I'm showing it right now on the video. There you go. That's all I got to say to them. I'll show it one more time.
All the media guys.
This is for all the media guys, for everybody. This is all I got to say to you guys. Right? This is it. Turncoat fans. That's for you.
Check it out.
All right, man. I appreciate your call, bro.
That's hilarious.
I appreciate your call, man.
Yeah, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. That's the one big thing that I'm going to be watching for, as I said again, is to see how specifically Alonzo Trier, but all of the Knicks run the fast break next year. I've seen DSJ's new shot. That's going to open up his game, so I'm actually really hyped to see how he performs next year as well. And let's go Knicks.
All right, man. Appreciate your call.
All right, you have a good night.
All right, peace. Yeah, man, you guys know how the media do. You guys know how the media is, man. But anyway, Frank Ntilikina, man. Frank Ntilikina, he's at FIBA. Mark, what's your take from what you've seen so far with Frank, man? Talk to me about it, Mark. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Mark. I don't know what's up. Can't hear you. Yeah, it's still... I got you unmuted, but there you go.
Oh, you hear me now, right?
Yep, I can hear you now.
I watched both of the games, right? The first game, it was kind of hard, cringy to watch. But the second game, like I said, he just does things that is great for the team. He makes the right passes. The only thing I hate with him, Jesus Christ, there was one play where he had the lane, and even though it was a good pass, he had the open lane to lay it up, just lay it up. That's the thing that people has a problem with him. Bro, if you're that open, just take the layup, just score. Even if that's not part of your game, just score the basketball. There was times where I saw him where he could have just scored, but there was times where there was one shot on the wing where he bricked the three and then took it again. That's what I like. Mm-hmm. Take it until you if it's warrant for you, take it. If it come back to you, take it. But like I said, the second game was a little much better. But the first game was just cringy to watch. He was just like, it's just like one of them things, like he just learned to play professional basketball again. That's what it looked like to me. But the second game, he looked a little more comfortable doing things. But like I said, his passing ability was good. I like how he was just getting rid of the ball. The guy, like I said, you put him with a collection of talent, then you start to see what he's really like. But like I said, he has to make those shots. That's it.
This is going to be his last year with the Knicks?
Well, it depends on what.
I don't think it's going to be. I think they're going to.
No, I don't think so. Because
I think they're going to give him more time. But what? Do you
even with Dennis Smith, like I talk about the contract thing. Like I said, we have to be patient with them. We have no choice. We have no choice. Yeah. These are the guys we're going with now. We have absolutely no choice. So everybody on the team, we have to, there's some players we might not like on it. We have to, chalk it up and get used to it. Because at 2021, bro, there ain't nobody that interested that's going to want to come play for the Knicks. And most of those guys are going to be either out their prime or going to be staying with their team. They're just looking for a bigger deal.
I think this squad right here, maybe there's a few tweaks or changes or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be
have these guys for about 2 years. I think we'll have these guys for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And I think Frank Ntilikina will be here at least until 2021. They'll probably give him the qualifying offer, and he probably accept the qualifying offer. They'll make that qualifying offer, and he'll probably accept it. That's what I think.
You know why he's going to accept it? Because he knows his game is not where it needs to be to even warrant a contract.
Exactly.
So if he puts any type of, like I said, what people want is, even when you listen to like guys in the media or like guys that talk about him, the jump shot, make shots. That's it. That's it.
Be the 3-and-D guy. And look, all you guys, I'm a super duper Frank Ntilikina fan. I like Frank Ntilikina.
He's 6'8", man. I can't give up that quick. I
like Frank Ntilikina. Now, see, look, this is what gets me, right? This is what gets me, Mark. Check this out. This is what gets me about sometimes with people in the chat, right? I like Frank Ntilikina. I am a Frank Ntilikina fan. But yet still, I know he's got to work on his shot, taking the shot. I know the things that he's got to work on. And I'm talking about it. Not one person is calling me a Frank Ntilikina hater in the chat. Although I will point out the things that he does not do well. You know what I'm saying? Right?
This is aggression offensively. That's what it is.
I mean, yeah.
That's what people want to see. If you look down,
but I'm talking about the chat, though. I'm talking about the chat for a second, though. Right?
Yeah.
It's because Mitchell Robinson is a fan favorite that the reason why everybody calls me a hater. Frank Ntilikina is dwindling. He was, when he first came, he was kind of a fan favorite. He still has his cult following, but people are starting to dwindle from it. I am a Frank Ntilikina fan, but I'm not afraid. I'm gonna call him out.
Sam, he's too young.
Call him out because I want these guys to get better, man. And the only way that they're going to get better is when you call them out on what they do wrong. You praise them on what they do well, and you say, this is what you're not doing well. This is what you got to work on. It's the only way.
But you know why I'm so intrigued with him so much? It's how big he is. Dude is 6'8", 20 years old. He still has time to grow, bro. Listen, guys, don't look at him as the 8th pick anymore. Just erase that from y'all head because just erase it. Just erase it. Because he's not going to be because 8th picks are just mostly productive players. Like when they get picked right there, you want them to be a productive player. I just want him to be a productive key player.
That's it.
That's what I want. That's all I want. And Sam, even when he got drafted, I have a friend, he can tell you, I wanted him just because of his defensive prowess, what he could do defensively. That's why I was so high on him, because I like his defense, how he uses his skill set on defense, how he read plays, how he disrupts plays. It's not just staying in front of your defender. It's how you're moving around the court. It's if you see offenses developing, if you could be able to take it out and make teams go to a different type of offense. That's the thing that I saw. He's a very smart player, but for people looking at him to be 18 and 6 assists,
that's never gonna happen. 6 assists. He can get the 6 assists.
No, he gets 6 assists.
18 points is not gonna happen. It's not.
But you know what's so funny? He remind me of Tony Parker. Because if you watch Tony Parker in the beginning, he didn't have that type of confidence. He didn't have that type of confidence.
But Tony Parker was always aggressive, though.
No. When he got drafted to the Spurs, if you go watch him, he reminded me of Tony Parker from that, just trying to implement himself into American basketball.
I know.
These guys are so used to their style of play.
Yeah, but he was a little bit more, ready to, his mindset was a little bit more ready to score the basketball. You know what I'm saying?
He was playing with Tim Duncan too. That's another goddamn thing.
Issues. I think Frank has a few confidence issues. Just about his game as a whole, you know what I mean? Being confident in himself as a player. He's got to get over that. You know what I mean? I mean, you look at Tony Parker, man, his first year in the league, he took 8 field goal attempts a game, averaged 9 points. Second year in the league,
but
he took 12 field goal attempts a game, averaged 15 points a game. He was never afraid to be that guy to go ahead and shoot the rock.
No, I'm not comparing him to Tony Parker, but the coach, he had to make him aggressive. If you go back to an old Greg Popovich talking about Tony Parker, they had to make him aggressive. They had to put him in a role where they say, "You gonna handle the ball. You gonna do this. You gonna do that." And that's the thing with Frank. You have to put him. You're gonna have to force it, not force it, but you're gonna have to put him in position where we're dependent on you. And that's what they did with Tony Parker, because he became very dependent in their championship runs throughout the years. If you go look at that young Tony Parker,
I know they were dependent on Tony Parker. I'm just saying he never lacked for confidence. You know what I mean? Tony, what do you think, man? Have you been able to watch Frank at all play in those FIBA games?
I have not watched the games. I've seen a couple of the highlights and lowlights. I don't know, man. I'm not on a Frank train anymore. I think he's on the bottom of the totem pole.
For the Knicks, he is right now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I try to look at max potential, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so much has to change for him. Like right now, his max potential to me is Robinson. I mean, I can't.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
I can't.
It's hard for.
Listen.
It's hard
He has a better shot than Robinson. I'm sorry, I was responding to Mark. But he has a better shot than Robinson. But I can't. I don't see him. I don't see him doing any better than that. Not even a 3D guy.
My thing with Robinson, I think Frank. See, like I agree with some of the things with Mark. I still think Frank has that really good feel for the game, knows, understands where to get the ball, how to get the ball. Let's put it like this. I think if Frank shot last year, and it really does come down to his shot. To me, it comes down to his shot-making abilities. If Frank shot 45% from the field last season with the number of shots that he did take, and he was averaging, instead of 5 points, he was averaging 9, I don't think anyone would be complaining. It really does come, the other parts of the game, I don't think anyone would be complaining about. It comes down to the shot-making. You know what I'm saying? He just shoots a horrible percentage right now from the field. I think that's what it really comes down to.
Well, that's why I say I'm basing it off what I see. Now, Robinson averaged, I think, about 7 points. You know what I mean? Was known as a defender. That's what I see as a max. I'm not saying game. I'm talking about like stat line. I see his max being 7 points. If he is running the point, he could get six assists. But we would have to put him, like Mark said, in a position where right now he's third string. Again, he's third string. He's not going to be in a position to put up any type of real numbers. So again, for him, it's going to have to be a get in where you fit in. You might play some 2 guard, you might play some 3, you might play some point, and that's the way to max out his playing time at least.
Yeah, I mean, but I think. I think that, I think that Frank's value isn't always going to come. Obviously, for an 8th seed, you don't want to hear this, right? I mean, for an 8th seed, for an 8th pick, people don't want to hear this. But I'm not sure if Frank's value is going to come in his stats. You know what I'm saying? I think his value is going to come outside of his stats. Now, people out here, don't take this the wrong way, right? But Jason Kidd's value to the Knicks in 2012, 13, whatever the year was, it didn't come in his stats. It came in what he knew, right? And the knowledge of the game that he had. And I think that's where Frank is going to come in, is that, he can be that guy that can kind of do anything on the floor, except for scoring and hitting shots, right? But, can do, a lot of different things on the floor. You can put him in different positions. You can, so like you said, spot minutes, right? Okay, Frank, we need you to guard this person right here. You know what I'm saying? Or so-and-so is down. We need you to come in. He might be at that spot duty this year. You know what I mean? But you also got to look, and this is the reason why I say I think that he's going to stick around, because you got some guys on the team. Morris, he might only be on the team for a year, right? Most likely he's going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? These guys are on basically 1 year deals. So there's going to be some turnover. This really could end up being a very good situation for Frank, where he doesn't have to be called on to have a big part of the winning percentage, and he can just kind of get in where he fits in, learn a little bit more, play a little bit more, get beat up by some of the older guys on the team, some stuff like that. And then when they transfer out, when they, shuffle out of here, they're no longer in New York, then maybe he's ready to step in and be a strong contributor. I do think he's going to be, his role on this team is going to end up being, if he's still on the team, that Swiss Army knife type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
Hey Sim, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start with Dotson, but you take draft pick position out of place and you take age, or you consider age but don't consider draft pick wherever they was picked in the draft. Do you think Dotson has more potential or Frank Ntilikina?
It's hard to say because they do two totally different things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're two totally different players. But
if you had one roster spot,
if I had one roster spot, am I looking to win now, or am I building for the future? Am I winning right now, and I need someone that's going to help me win right now? Or if I need someone, it's still tough for me. It's still tough for me. Looking at between the two, it's still very tough for me because Dotson is a good defender. Obviously, offensively, he can score better than Frank Ntilikina. I think Frank Ntilikina has a better IQ than Damian Dotson. But if I'm winning now, I would probably go with Damian Dotson because because he can score a little bit and he can still defend. But it would be a tough decision for me. If I'm looking for the future, I'd be going with Frank. So it would.
All right, I'm gonna give you two more names. Dennis Smith Jr.
and Frank. Right now, Dennis Smith Jr.
Right now. Well, win now.
Win now, Dennis Smith Jr.
And for the future,
probably Dennis Smith Jr. With what I'm seeing from Dennis Smith Jr. right now, with what I see from him, Dennis Smith Jr. Because I'm seeing some things off the floor and the way that he's willing to work. He changed his shot. All the things that we were talking about earlier. Dennis Smith Jr.
And last one, Alonzo Trier. Win now and for the future.
If you're going to win now, it's definitely Alonzo Trier. If you're going to win now. For the future, that's tough because I feel like Alonzo Trier is one-dimensional in his offensive style of play. And I feel like in the future, Frank may bring more. So I'm going with Frank.
So what you got from Trier, mm-hmm. But you're basing the future off of what you might get from Frank.
Yeah, it's
a gamble.
But
I understand it. But
the thing is, you still don't really know what you got with Trier because he hasn't even done it in his second year yet. So we got to see, what can he do in his second year now? Because you seen him get kind of shut down last year too. You know what I'm saying? In the second part of the year when people kind of knew what Trier would do, then all of a sudden he kind of got shut down a little bit. So you still don't even know, what there is with Trier either. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think you're getting at least 10 points. Should get more, but you're getting 10 points a game. Off the bench.
The thing is, the Knicks are in a good situation to have guys like this that they're gonna have to choose from in the future. I could say that.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Like I said, I'm not totally giving up on Frank. I just feel like he has. Now, granted, if they do like you said and give him the qualifying, and he has another year, then he may show something next year. I just feel like if he goes into free agency, I don't think it's a re-sign automatic. You know what I mean? I think he's the lowest guy as far as bringing back.
Right now, I don't know because you got to look at. Let's say for example, okay, is Peyton the long-term future point guard or backup point guard? We don't know that, right? He's only on a 1-year deal, basically. You know what I'm saying? So if you lose Peyton, right, or you decide Peyton's not the guy, maybe you still got Dennis Smith Jr., you still need another point guard. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's why I'm saying, like, Frank, I think Frank probably does get that qualifying offer and he sticks around because you got guys like Elfrid Payton that may not be here. Marcus Morris may not be here, as time goes on, and some of these other guys that as time goes on could not be here. Well, Frank could. Now maybe he has to back up is Dennis Smith Jr. and Frank Ntilikina. Because how do we know when they're not? I mean, they might be looking at Elfrid Payton and saying maybe this is the year that he comes out and does blah, 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 and really has a year. But what if he doesn't? And they're like,
let me ask,
we're paying him $8
Let me ask you one last question. And then I gotta go to bed. But would you be satisfied with a 5-5-5, like 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and just some solid defense, like as a stat line for Ntilikina?
For Ntilikina?
And I mean like career wise, not like 1 year, but like if that's what he ends up being.
Well, I mean, I would hope that he can get to 10. Right, I wouldn't be happy with the 5 points, the 5 rebounds, the 5 assists. I love that. I wouldn't be happy with the 5 points. I would hope he could at least get to 10 points if he's getting significant time. You know what I mean? And over time, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, over time, I mean, he averaged 5 points a game last year, shooting almost 20% from the field. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
So I don't think he's gonna shoot 28% from the field or whatever he was shooting his whole career. I think that he has the ability to make some shots. Last year he averaged 5.7 points per game. Right? Let me see. What was minutes last year? He averaged 21.9 minutes. He shot 36% from the field. 31. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold up. Last year, he averaged 21 minutes a game. He shot 33% from the field, 28% from three. I mean, I do feel like that's going to get better as time goes on. He averaged 5.7 points per game. You know what I mean? And that's what I was saying. If he was just a better shooter, if he did everything else the same, and he was a better shooter, I think people would be okay with him.
Like I've always said, like his shot ain't broken. He has a good shot. It's more about taking it and hitting it.
Yep.
Like being consistent.
Yep.
I like Frank, but I don't know if he's gonna jump anybody in the rotation. You know what I mean? I think he's best. I think he's best suited, like I was saying earlier, spot duty. We need you at the point now. We need you at the 2. We need you at the 3.
Right.
Might even need you at the 4 one time.
Right. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you what. Dennis Smith Jr. is gonna get hurt. He's gonna go out this season. You know what I'm saying? You can count on that. You can count on that just as much as you can count on you're gonna breathe in the next 2 minutes. Right. He's gonna get hurt. He's probably gonna go out. Elfrid Payton, there's gonna be some spots in there in time for him to play because some of these guys gonna go out. You know what I mean? They're not gonna play. Guys in the NBA today don't play 82 games.
82 games.
You know what I mean? So you kind of gotta have a deep roster nowadays because guys, they're not playing games like that, man. But hey, Tony, I'm gonna let you go ahead, man. I know you gotta get up, let you go ahead and get you some rest, bro. I appreciate you, man.
No doubt. Yo, shout out to the chat.
Anyway,
keep doing your thing, Sim.
No doubt.
Go Black, it's time.
Peace. And Guillermo, what you think, man? You got yourself muted, Guillermo.
Sorry about that. On Frank Ntilikina, man.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Sim. In terms of his talent, you see what it is, man. Like the kid can defend, he can facilitate, especially when you have guys moving around. But again, the confidence and aggression, like Mark said, I know exactly what pass it was. I think it was some dude kind of like, I won't say it was an afro or whatever, but you saw it and he had the lane to make a layup, right? And maybe it may have been some contact, maybe if he was going to go to the basket, but it's an aggressive move that the best players make, right? And yes, he got the pass off, but it was one of those Rondo passes almost where it's like you could have scored yourself, but you wanted the assist. And it's different, Frank. He's just the confidence thing. And when you look at this team, Sim, would I want him on my team? Yes, of course I would. But when you look at the depth chart and how Fizzo wants his point guards, is there enough space? And is there enough time for him to develop that? Because where's that confidence coming from? He's not going to be playing with, Gobert or a bunch of his countrymen, right? He's playing on an NBA team where he's a third, maybe the fourth point guard in this team if you put RJ Barrett in the mix. And it's like, where's he going to get that opportunity and time from? And it sucks because I thought what he did last year was criminal. he was the only guy who was only really getting reprimanded for his mistakes, and everyone else was able to skate through it. And that messed up your confidence. So to me, it's weird. I like Frank a lot. Would I want to see him succeed in his team? Hell yeah, but he's the type of guy, I could see him going to the Spurs. I could see him go to the Jazz. I could see him to a professional, like a vet-laden team or a team that's on the cusp, and he's playing, maybe 15, possibly 20 minutes, and he's doing the small things here and there, and he signs the next contract to go to a middling team and develop his career from there. But he needs time and space to develop, and I just don't think the Knicks have it right now for him. That shot sim is still not fixed. I know he made that three. Dennis Smith Jr. shot looks a lot more improved than Frank's. Frank is still using both his arms. Too much volatility in his arms because, again, he needs more of the wrist instead of just arm action. It's just so many things with Frank. I just don't think the Knicks right now, it's the proper stage and time for him, the proper context for him to truly develop into what he could be.
Yeah, it's gonna be a year for Frank, man.
The last thing, sorry, Coach, I know you got to go. He doesn't shoot well enough to play him at the 2 because I think right now we're kind of thin at the 2, right? Bullock is kind of out. Dotson, maybe play RJ there. Outside of that, correct me if I'm wrong, I get Trier, I guess, maybe, but it just sucks. If Frank was able to shoot just even a little bit, you could argue put him in as a super sub coming off the bench. But whatever.
We'll see. The one thing that I will say is this. With everything that, with the roster and all this stuff being so new, you just don't know how the rosters are going to fit together and who's going to do what well together. You know what I'm saying? So, that's one area, where we got to kind of see because you just don't know yet. You know what I mean? You just don't know yet how these guys are going to mix and match together. And it could be that, he's a guy that helps to make these lineups work. You just never know. We're going to see when the season starts, man. We're going to see.
Yep.
We're going to see.
Agreed.
I mean, I'm definitely rooting for Frank. I'm a Frank Ntilikina fan, but I'm the first to say, he has to, he's got to show something. He's got to show something now. And
they're gonna run sets for him because they're gonna be running. I think sim this year, Fizzo is there's gonna be a lot more intricate. I don't say intricate, but a lot more actual coaching. And if he can't execute in some of the sets they're probably running where guys are moving off ball and stuff, I think he will if he gets a chance.
Well, I'm gonna say this: if you have sets, Frank Ntilikina is gonna do well. Frank Ntilikina does better when I'm watching him playing these FIBA games. He looks so much more comfortable on the floor because he knows where he's going. He knows who's supposed to get the ball, when and where. Of course, there's going to be some freelance. That's basketball, right? It's going to happen that way. But he knows what he's doing and where people are going. And people are not always breaking up. See, in the NBA, everyone breaks off the play. They get the ball and they break off the play, right? In FIBA, they're not breaking off the play. Guys are going through. And the ball is moving. I mean, you watch these guys, and it's like boop, 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 boop,
yep.
boop before
it's perfect for him.
Up,
yep.
Right. So it's so it's definitely different, and he's comfortable with that. And I can look at him and see that he's comfortable on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows where to go and where to be, and he knows when guys are gonna pass the ball to him and stuff like that. If Coach Fizdale is gonna, not all the time, but run some sets like that. Right, then you might see it more comfortable. Here's another thing though. In the NBA, even when they run sets, those sets are not as intricate as you're seeing in FIBA, except for maybe the Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs, a couple other teams. But those sets, you hardly ever see 5 and 6 passes.
No, you're right. It's literally like a. It's like I don't say like a hamster, but it's like a weird. It's like everything is just like a constant motion, orbiting kind of thing where guys are just moving, and it's beautiful to watch. And like you said, the Warriors run it. It's just damn. Because look, if I could give Frank Ntilikina DSJ's confidence.
Yeah.
I think, and the only thing you have to work on was shooting. You'd have a point guard for the future because look, Frank Ntilikina as a decision maker. I think he's good. I think he's a really good decision maker. It's just, being realistic about it, where the hell does he have a chance to do that. Like, put like this. This we were just talking about DSJ's development, right? We said we'll give him several years to develop, right? People are gonna get mad at me in the chat room, but if you think about it, both guys really can't shoot. They really haven't shown you what they could truly do at a high level. So who, if you had a blank slate and you could run the team how you want, who would you give the years of development to? Who would you give that leeway, that rope to? Because
if I had my way,
you would argue that both of them.
Look, if I had my way, I would merge Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. together.
I would.
I would merge them together, and then there you go. You got your point guard of the future.
You got your point guard of the future, man. Agreed.
Right there. I wanted to ask you, what did you think about what was said about Kevin Durant? And I want to hear from Mark too, where
Chris Haynes, yeah, we were killing him. I think. Look, I'm tired of it, man. Like. This guy, he's the most, for anybody out there, if you're not self-validated, you're going to have a lot of issues in life. And the fact that he said that, well, one, I know we're going to get to the Knicks thing, but he said, his, supposed players weren't giving him praise, some crap like that. I heard Shannon talking about. Then he said, that he was only considering the Nets. He was never considering Knicks. That's a effing lie. And it's sad because it's like, he's constantly lying to himself, but we have evidence that you wanted to come to the Knicks. And I told some Marks, and it's perfectly if KD was like, yo, look, I wanted to come to the Knicks, but just with this injury and where the Knicks are right now, it was kind of hard to make the commitment. A lot of pressure. I didn't want to rush it. We would have been perfectly fine. We would have actually praised him. Hey, that's growth. Because we all knew what it was, but he's come here, I only considered the Nets. But it's like, no, it's because you're a weak person. Curry was a guy who came to practice every game, or came to every game, came to every practice. He's like, guys, let's do this. He wasn't there to kiss your butt. He wasn't there to groom you and make sure you're okay. How are you, Katie? Are you good? You're the greatest player I've ever seen. He's not going to do that. He has a guy in Kyrie who's Machiavellian, who's going to say things and do things to manipulate you. So he's going to sit there like you're Svengali and say, yeah, KD, when he's not playing with you, watch when you play with him. So all the stuff he said is just like he's just lying to himself. It's disgusting. It's like me and Mark said it. It's the pretty girl in high school who she constantly needs somebody to tell she's pretty. If someone didn't tell that she was pretty, she's good, and not to joke about suicide, she was going to hurt herself. That's the type of person KD is. He's going to self-destruct unless he gets constant validation. And for him to have titles, MVPs, just millions of dollars, and he's still not self-validated, and you're sitting here, now I was never considering the Knicks. I never gave him. And mind you, the media's not talking about that, by the way, if it's by his words. They killed the Knicks, but KD say he didn't consider us, right? But this guy, KD, is just, I'm actually happy the Knicks didn't get him. Because imagine the pressure that would have been on him, Sim. Yeah. You already seen Kyle Lowry. You already seen DeMar DeRozan. Kyle Lowry had to miss a whole half or miss a quarter, go to the halftime, or go into the locker room, and then come out at halftime because he had, anxiety issues. DeMar DeRozan, so he has anxiety issues. And not to clown about that, but for New York, you do not need a superstar with anxiety issues. Kevin Durant is an alpha talent with a beta personality. He would have crumbled in New York. And Kyrie, as Machiavellian as he is, he's a destroyer. If you don't follow him and his weird his oddities, you're gonna trouble. Go ask the Celtics. So, KD, to me, good luck to him. I hope he gets better. I love seeing him on the court, but thank God he's on the Knicks, man.
Yeah,
that guy mentally.
I agree with you, man. I feel like KD is. I mean, he's a follower. He's not a leader. Right. He's a follower, and so. And this is something even a long time ago, I had asked this question about if you're getting KD and Kyrie, who's the with the Knicks, who's the leader? If the Knicks were going to get KD and Kyrie, I was like, who's going to be the leader? Because I don't see either one of them being a leader. KD is a follower, man, and I'm glad. Maybe
he really.
We'll see if it works out in Brooklyn. I don't know, but yeah, he's a follower.
It's not going to work out, Sim. He needs it's scary because he was on the Warriors, and I understand what the owner did and all that stuff. That was grimy, but it was to the point. Even at the end, it was like he didn't even enjoy playing on a team with all those talented players. Like I understand. Look, Draymond Green, he's emotional. He's an idiot. But for you, and you heard things like KD and Curry weren't close. Like, who cares if you're not close? You're winning championships. You guys are unstoppable. Like, why do you have to be like? If I'm on a court with you, we don't have to be buddy buddy. As long as there's good chemistry on the court playing, that's all we need. I don't need to be friends. I don't need to see your little kid and be in commercials with you. Who gives a f? And KD is looking for something that comes out of basketball within basketball, and he's never going to be happy. Now he's trying to be. He took the picture. He's in the hospital, all trying to be all fucking rugged and oh yeah, I'm a tough guy. It's like, dude, we all know you're not a tough guy. You're on the internet checking to see comments about yourself. He honestly, you know what he needs? He needs a psychiatrist, like one of those sports psychiatrists, to really take care of him, to speak to him, to go. No, I'm serious, because he has no self-validation. None.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Hey, Mark, I'm gonna get to you in a minute, Mark. Let me get to this phone call. Call me on live with nothing but Knicks. What's popping?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Hey, so this is Lee from LA again. I want to say one thing. I am so sick of Kevin Durant. I am so sick of this BS about the style of play with Brooklyn. Let's go into this. Brooklyn was built on D'Angelo Russell last year, okay? When these dogs, Portis and Morris, come in next year at the Knicks and we sweep them and we're ahead of them in the playoffs, I don't want to hear KD say a word, okay? He is such a snake. He's such a loser. I hate KD, and I can't wait till Brooklyn gets screwed.
So you don't think it's going to work out? You don't think it's going to work out with him in Brooklyn, huh? You're not the only person.
It's a 3-year deal. First year he's out. Second year it's hard to come back. The third year is a year where you have to win. So it's basically a 1-year thing. And who knows with Kyrie? Kyrie is just – he's a mental case. Yeah. So I believe that we're going to be better than Brooklyn next year. We're going to win over 40 games, and we're going to dominate them. And I think Morris is going to get into Kyrie's head.
Okay.
I love Morris.
Well, you know what? Morris is the guy to do it. He knows what makes Kyrie tick. Well, at least a little bit, because he was playing with him. All right. Hey, you know what? When the Knicks and Brooklyn play, I'm gonna need you to call in.
Yes, I will be there. I'm gonna fly from LA to New York whenever they play. I need to be at that game.
Okay. All right.
When we get in Kyrie's head, and we beat them by 25, I will be there.
All right, man. I hope so, man. Hopefully, we'll have some, somebody from NBK there too. Hopefully, we want to try to get the Barclays Center packed out with Knicks fans.
100%. We need to do the hell out of Kyrie and KD that game. I'm just so sick of this Brooklyn style play nonsense. You want to talk about Dolan, like from a leadership, standpoint, like we have Dolan, right? He's a terrible owner. Okay. But from a style of play perspective, who do they have? Dinwiddie, Allen, Harris? Like, who cares? Like, come on. I just don't see it.
I feel you, man.
That's all I wanted to say.
Feel you. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate your call, bro.
Oh, also, I just want to say this. One of the reasons why KD didn't go to the Knicks, in my opinion, is that he was too scared of the spotlight. He wants to go to a place where no one's going to really care about him, and that's Brooklyn. Little brother versus big brother. So that's all I got to say.
All right, man. All right.
Have a good day.
Have a good one. Later. All right. It is. Mark, I'm going to let you get these last words on this, man. And then we heading off.
Go in, Guamo.
Go ahead, Mark.
I'm about to go in.
Go ahead, Mark.
Listen, the last two guys, they went on the rant that I was getting ready to go on. But let me tell you something. Sim, let me ask you a question.
All right.
Imagine if KD would have came to the Knicks. Why is Brooklyn not being talked all summer like they should be?
All summer long. Nobody's talking about Brooklyn. It's crazy.
Sam, Guamo had to repeat that to me, and I just had to go back and realize that I thought I was really going to feel a type of way about my summer. But like I said to y'all, no one gives a damn about that Brooklyn Nets team. I don't care if you from Brooklyn. Y'all don't have fans. Y'all have spectators. But let me tell you something.
Here you go.
That interview right there, that interview, it's like he lied. So, because remember I was telling you before the season ever started that the only way Kevin Durant was going to come play if he was going to play with another cerebral player, and that was Kyrie. Kyrie made his own decision. And the fact that KD got hurt, he tried to make it seem like he did not think about the Knicks. Are you kidding me?
Come on, I know, man. It's crazy.
Sim, that is, KD know where his career is at. He knows if he wins in Brooklyn, he's going to be another KD. It's just going to be another ring for KD. But if he would have touched one goal for the Knicks, we would have looked at him like the way people are looking at LeBron. And the only reason why people are just like all over LeBron is because he won in Cleveland the way he did. If LeBron never won another ring, LeBron would have been just another great player in the league. But the reason why people talk about LeBron, what they do, is because he won in Cleveland. And Kevin Durant know in his goddamn 2 cents that Brooklyn was not the New York team. It baffles me because I've been uptown these couple of weeks. You would think he will be up there for like the Dykeman games and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, he knows what he did. I understand the injury, but then again, we would accept you. We would accept you. That love that he's looking for, he's not going to get that with Brooklyn. He's not.
No.
He's not going to get it. Not one bit. And he's a follower, man. He's a follower. Because Kyrie, as much as people hate Kyrie, he's his own man. And he said, I'm going to Brooklyn. He going to Brooklyn. And KD, if I would respect KD if he said, the reason why I went to Brooklyn because I wanted to play with Kyrie. Just say that. But don't come at the Knicks like you did not think about us at all. Don't do that. Because now you make us look crazy in the news that we missed out on you. And that's the talk. When the whole truth is, smart people would know that you wanted to come to the Knicks, but you wanted to play with another point guard, and you knew Kyrie wanted to go to the Nets. That's why you joined the Nets. Because let me tell you something, Sim. If he wanted to go to Brooklyn, he would have signed there first. He would have signed there first. If you're that big, you would have signed there first.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
People think that he signed it because Kyrie went there. And that is the true facts, man. And that interview just pissed. I like the Kevin Durant, bro. I like the Kevin Durant because what he said about I couldn't get close to Stephen Curry, bro. I have a great friend, bro. He has kids. It's just like in life, you hang out with a group of guys, y'all all know your positions. If this person go off and have children, if you're a great friend, you know his position. What are you whining about? Yeah, you can't hang out with him like you would do with a single guy, but you have to respect what he did with his future in his life. That don't mean I can't become close because still to this day, I have a friend, he moved from New York and lives in Las Vegas. I talk to him almost three times a week, bro. That don't stop your friendship. So all that is baloney. There's no way you can't tell me that he couldn't got along with Stephen Curry. So why is Draymond best friends with Stephen Curry? Why is Klay Thompson best friends with Curry? Like he just wanted to get out of Golden State. He wanted to create a rift because there was no rift there. He was not going to get a rift between Steph Curry. There was never going to be no beef there. So he tried to look at it like, oh, I really didn't get close to Stephen Curry, so this is why it didn't work out for me. No.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I get it, man. I you know.
He's a weirdo. He's in that Kyrie section.
You know what?
Y'all both weirdos.
Yo, yeah, you're right. They got something crazy going on. So, listen. Now, we know it's a good thing. It is a very good thing, in my opinion, that this did not happen. I'm glad we didn't get him. It did not happen. Glad. You know, we can build the way that we're building, and then hopefully we'll be able to take it from there, and we can keep going. Man, so
the only thing I'm mad about is that we gave up, you know who, to have a chance at him.
Well, listen. According to Action Bronson,
yeah,
KP was never meant for New York anyway. If you listen to Action Bronson.
Action Bronson smoked pounds of weed. I ain't listen to no weed smoker like that. Get out of here.
Huh?
I'm telling you, that's just their hate. It's just like KP got traded.
You heard what he said about. You heard what he said about.
Anonymous people coming out of the woodworks.
You heard what Action Bronson said about KP, right?
So why he didn't say that before he got traded?
I don't know.
Okay,
somebody asked him a question.
That tells me a lot about him.
Somebody asked him a question. Somebody asked him a question. He answered the question. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, because he's a Knicks fan. Of course, he's going to agree with all the Knicks fans on how they dog my dog. But forget that. Kevin Durant, he's in that weirdo section with Kyrie, and it is on this season. It is Knicks against the Nets, and I'm going to be at all 4 games this year. And I'm gonna heckle them guys because Kevin Durant, he's a bozo, he's a clown. I never seen men in such power that want so much attention like that. It scares me. It really bothers me as a dude to see another man of that stature wanting that type of attention with that type of a game. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
All right. Well, Mark, I'm about to head up out of here, man. Give us some last words, bro. And for those who didn't hear, this is what Action Bronson said. I'm not gonna play it. Yeah, he said
he's a cornball too.
He said.
Don't diss my boy.
He knew that KP was not made for New York. He said, I knew somebody that sold the brother weed, and from what I heard, he didn't have it in him. That's all he said.
All right.
That's all he said. He said, from what I heard, he didn't have it in him.
That's his opinion. But like I said, I was told somebody in the chat. I said, listen, don't let KP have a great year because I'm going to be in this chat coming hard body.
All right. We'll see.
But good night.
You can come hard body for the 42 games that he does play this year. All right, man.
All right, sir.
Peace. Gormo, you want to give me some last words, man?
Yeah, man. Good episode, man. All I got to say is Spencer Dinwiddie, keep talking trash. You're going to see how irrelevant the Nets truly are and how much his stats are going to suffer playing with Kyrie. And KD, man, look, find some peace, man. If you talk to your dad or whatever, try to find him. I don't know. But I'm being honest. You need help, man. Like, you need your dad to come back into your life. Fathers who will listen to this, stay in your kid's life, man. They get their strength and their validation from you. Stay in your kid's life because this KD stuff is really sad. And I'm being honest, it's really sad. So, salute to you, Sim. You're a good dad. You do a lot of good things for your girls' team. Do a lot of good things for the chat, even though now you're trying to use me as a new Isaiah. That's okay, though. But that's fine. But, salute to you, man. Good episode. And I see you here next week.
Man. Yeah. Yep. I'll definitely be on Monday. Then hopefully next week we're going to be able to link up, man.
Oh, yeah, man. And get some sleep, man. Goodness gracious.
I probably won't, man. I'm probably going to. I was just watching this thing on CNN, about, race and stuff like that. I'm probably going to finish watching it. That's what I do.
That's how you stay up when you watch these programs and watch another one and.
Yeah, right. I know. Man. All right, man. I'll talk to you later, man. All right, later.
See you, bro.
Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, man, I appreciate you guys for being on with me, staying up with me. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I do want to remind you that opening night tickets, they're still here. It's less than 20, so make sure you get them because as soon as this schedule comes out, and I think it's going to come out like next week, people are going to be on these tickets. So I just put the link in the chat. So make sure you get your tickets. All right? Make sure you get your tickets. Also, my VIP members, make sure you check your emails. Please check your emails tonight, tomorrow, whenever you get a chance to check your email. All right? Because I did give instructions on how you can get this Frank Ntilikina autograph poster. And it is certified. All right? So you'll have the little certification card and everything. I will tell you, all you have to do is this. If you are a VIP member, VIP members only, all you have to do is make a video or some audio, an image, a post, and talk about nothing but Knicks. That's it. Post it on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Talk about nothing but Knicks. Right? And that's how you, if you are a VIP member, can enter to win that Frank Ntilikina poster. So I just put a link in the chat how you can become a VIP member. All right. Next Friday, I'm going to announce the winner. So get your videos. I prefer video. Get your videos ready. A quick little 15-second video. Talk about nothing but Knicks. Use the hashtag nothing but Knicks. I'll find that hashtag and then I'll send it out. And I'll share it. And then we'll make a decision next week on who the winner is. All right. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Also, for my VIP members, I'm going to be doing a meetup sometime next week, Sunday or Monday, because I'm going to be in Manhattan. And I'm going to try to meet up, do some videos, do a show. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. We're going to have a good time with it. All right. That's for my VIP members, man. But anyway, I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gone. I will catch you guys on Monday. All right. I am doing a couple of series. I'm going to do a roster series where I'm going to, do like a minute, 30 seconds on each player, a video on each player on the roster. So, the first one is going to be Julius Randle. It's going to be like a minute and 30 seconds. So be on the lookout for that sometime this weekend. All right. Anyway, I'm out, folks. I'm out of here. I will catch you guys on Monday. Probably be a video that drops this weekend on Julius Randle. But I'll catch you guys Monday. Be peaceful. Have a great weekend. Get some rest if you need rest. I need rest, but I don't know if I'm going to get it. But anyway, I'm out. Peace. Make sure you get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen. Make those deposits now.